What is going on, everybody out there? This is Thrifty. I am the Aggressively Average Gamer. You are here for another episode of The Gaming Den. That's right, this is a show weekly where we discuss video games. Go figure. When they're releasing, what studios are making them, what companies are making decisions that are going to affect the games we love. What's happening with the companies we love that make these wonderful games. We talk about all of that here. We talk about PlayStation. We talk about Xbox. We talk about sometimes Nintendo. We talk about PC. We talk about it all here. We always have folks on here who are really good with conversations and really good about just discussing gaming. And that is what this is about. You can hit the like button, you can subscribe, you can do all those things. They all help the channel. If you want to help the channel in a monetary way, you can hit the join button. You can become a member. Members get a shout out every single week on the podcast. And that shout out scrolls at the top, the bottom. And so far, once this thing rolls back through, I'll go ahead and name off the ones who we have here who do give of their time, but also give of their money. So right now, scrolling across the top, you will see in order, I think. I don't know if it's in order of how long they've been a member or not, but you will see it's coming. There it is. The Kipling Lounge, Isu226, also known as Ace, Josh Ayers, The Gaming Grindhouse, Jez7780, The Retro Gamer Guy, which is Twisted Sin, and Stephen Leon Dritz 1971, Cosmic Hero 270, El Nini 2796, RPG 88, and it's just Henry Heck. So thanks to those folks, really appreciate it. Also, we had a couple new subscribers today, and so just right before the show, actually. So welcome. Hope some of y'all stop in and say hi while you are here. With all of that, though, we do have a packed show. We have a guest on tonight that may not be able to stay for the whole thing. So we're going to jump right in right now, maybe, if I can push the proper button.
And I learned why I took this over.
What's going on?
Oh, what's up?
Oh, hey. What'd you take over?
No, I was telling him, because we were talking about work, and I was telling him I took over this email that has to go out for the day after we complete, a bunch of operational checks. And I realize now the reason why the guy who did it before sent it out at the end of the day, because sometimes they will reply and ask you questions. But if you send it out at the end of the day, as in like 4:59 p.m., then they can't ask you no questions because you ain't there.
That's right. That's absolutely right. That's how that works.
Yep, so now I send it out at 4:59 p.m.
It's like people getting fired on Friday at 4:30. That's because you wanted to get that last day of work out of their ass before you got rid of them. You wanted...
Exactly. They knew what they were doing.
They knew exactly what they were doing. It's hilarious. So, guys, we have a good show tonight. It's an awesome panel. We'll just start with the guy who was already talking. Enate, how are you, sir?
I am good. Happy to be here. A lot of great news happening this week. A lot of great games releasing. I'm just having a ball, man.
I don't think anything released today, did it? There was nothing important that came out today. I don't think nothing came out today, did it? There was...
Right?
Xbox is loving it, from what I heard.
Yeah, just complete blank slate. But yeah, I did laugh pretty hard. I saw Kid Smooth and Cole Eastwood both tried to buy Crimson Desert on the Play Anywhere, and apparently it's not launching still. And Kid Smooth is crying on Twitter for Xbox support. And I was like, you know what? That's what you get. I hope it doesn't unlock until next Tuesday. Just because that's what y'all get. Yeah, both got PCs over here trying to go back and forth. Like, nah, not today. Nah, y'all love Xbox, just yeah. So yeah, I gotta laugh at that whole situation because they both could have easily purchased it cheaper and purchased it on Steam, and they would have both been good.
It's kind of petty, that it ain't, right?
It is super petty, and I trust me. Morgan frequently tells me I need to do better, and I frequently tell her I refuse. I am extremely petty when it comes to people because they petty only if you're petty. Like otherwise, I'm like the nicest person on earth. You know, I have all sorts of cuddly names like Teddy Bear and they called me Pooh Bear in high school. Like, trust me, I could be a really nice person. But if you're petty, I'm gonna be petty too.
And I will out
Yeah.
petty you. That's the rule. If you push my petty button, just know I will out petty, out passive aggressive your ass all day long.
Absolutely. I'll show up when you least expect it. Gotcha.
Because I'm here for the long haul.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I have outlasted many a gremlins on Twitter. Look at me. My account been active since 2010. Ask about me.
How did you survive the Great War of 2020?
Mm-hmm. Like, for real, bro. I survived the toilet paper shortage and everything, bro. I'm trying to tell you.
Listen, I survived being called every name but the one my parents gave me during that time. I think I'm all right. Like, it's fine.
Right.
They found new names to call me. It was great.
Man, I'm trying to tell you. I still don't understand that, for the record. I don't understand having to explain that to kids who were not old enough to understand. What? Wait, why was there a toilet paper shortage? I'm going to explain to you right now that I don't know. Like it really doesn't make any sense. They go, wait, so people were sick and people bought toilet paper.
That's right.
By the truckload.
It's not funny.
Yes.
It's not funny.
Bro, when I think back, bro, it's kind of funny though, because
What's up, Dredge?
I literally bought toilet paper that day, and then I left, and then Priscilla got off work and was like, she was texting me. She was like, "Hey, did you get toilet paper?" And I was like, "Yeah, I went to the store earlier. You should get some more." And I was like, "Huh? What do you mean?"
That shit was
Bro,
gone.
I went back to the same store. Bro, it looked like they got robbed. Bro, I was like, "Bro, what happened?" Bro, Priscilla, what happened to the toilet paper? So I don't know. Everybody's buying it. Like, I was just like, bro, the whole Walmart dead empty, bro. I had to call in Connects to get toilet paper, bro. Like, people I used to work with back in the day. Like, bro, you still work at that Walmart on 105th? Yo, I know your computer been acting up. You know what I'm saying? I could come through. You know what I'm saying? If you could, throw me some Charmin. You know what I'm saying? Like, just let me know when the truck come in, bro. Just let me.
Oh man, not the toilet paper shortage. All right, so we're gonna flush that down the toilet. Hero, man, I know you're here for a short time. Sorry, Enate.
No, you're good. He's here for a short time and a good time.
He is here for both, and we have toilet paper. God. We use Charmin. Actually, we don't use Charmin. That stuff is expensive. We use that Sam stuff that works just as good as Charmin. Anyways, y'all know what I'm talking about. The big, huge thing. Because,
I do.
We buy our toilet paper in, like, bulk because I have 87 people who live in this damn house. Anyways. I can't wait, guys. Like, I love my children. I cherish the moments with them. But the day that they can go out of this dang house and start, like, being their own thing. Like,
he said, "You are free."
It's going to be a nice day. They're going to be like, "Dad, can I use the yes, you may?" Knock it out. I'll see you later. Call us if you need us. Like, outside of that, love you, mean it.
Yep.
Like, if you can't drive back home, send me a text. Like, "Hey, can't drive, made a few mistakes, sleeping at blah, blah, blahs. Sick. Thanks.
Not a problem.
You want me to come get you? Nah.
Oh,
okay.
Jesus.
Cool. All right. Anyways, what's up, Hero? How are you, sir? Long time no see.
Oh, yeah, long time no see. I've been very good. Went through a period of possible depression for reasons. No reasons, actually, just one of those things that happen to me like every start of every year. Lots of fears about the way AI proliferation is going on because I use it at my work. I promote it at my work. So I've just been conflicted in every single way. But apart from that, watch a few TV shows. Currently watching the last season of Succession. Finished Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart after 3 years of buying the damn game. And started Coffee Talk, getting out of my gaming slump. and I also pre-ordered Crimson Deserts, but I won't get it until next week. It's fine. It's fine. I can wait. I'm patient.
Shout out to us for getting
Yeah,
you
shout out
out
to
of playing
PlayStation Nation.
for getting you out of playing FIFA for a
Boom.
decade straight. Yeah, shout out
You know
to
the funny
us.
thing, and I'm going to quickly talk on that. The funny thing is, I deleted FIFA twice for the past 2 months. I reinstalled it again, but I'm like, I don't really enjoy this game anymore. I'm just playing out of habit now.
Yeah.
Something is, what the fuck is going on? Why am I not really enjoying something I've played for over 2 decades? Like, my
Because
taste
you
has
know
actually
what else
changed
is
a
out
lot.
there now, baby.
That's right.
Exactly. So
I
I'm
love
actually
it.
very happy with that. Very happy with that. So life is good, and I'm here for a good time.
Absolutely.
We're freaking doing the Lord's work over here. Hey,
PlayStation
listen.
evangelist.
Between y'all with y'all's indies, me with my JRPGs, and Will with play everything that can have a controller attached to it, like it's bound to leak over somewhere. That's- Oh man. Oh, speaking of Will, how are you, sir?
What is up, gamers? I'm doing good, man.
Ooh, your new headset sounds sexy.
It's incredible.
I ain't gonna lie, it does. I mean, I can, yeah, it's very nice.
That makes me flutter a little bit, my guy. Like, whoo,
You
dang,
know,
that was
yeah,
nice.
Don't make me turn my deep voice on. You know what I mean?
Ooh,
Yeah.
I
that's
told you, he just getting ready for when the phone rings, you know, and shorty call.
Hey,
That's all
I
it
already-
is.
Hey,
I already work
I'll
from home. I
smash.
just-
I'll smash.
Ooh. That sounds silky. Now, did you do anything to it, or is that just plug and play out of the box?
That's just plug and play, baby. I mean, well, you do
that's
have to
sick.
do a firmware update, but outside of that, I mean, it took what, like 20 seconds between installing the dongle and downloading the app. But yeah, super quick. And you guys know me, I keep it simple. I don't like to mess with none of that stuff. And yeah, I mean, it's as easy as it can get. But yeah, awesome headset. The quality, the audio quality is very nice. Audi's Maxwell 2.
Oh, you got that expensive ass headset. That's why. Okay.
It's not that expensive.
Hey, listen, that mic sounds like it's worth it too. That sounds.
Aren't they like
clean.
$400?
$325 for the PlayStation one, $350 for the Xbox one, because they have to do the Adobe licensing bullshit, so a little bit more.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, but the silkiness.
No, it sounds good though.
The silkiness on the end of the voice, like on the tail end of the audio, sounds so. There's no tinniness. Sorry, I got real deep into it for like 2 days, and that was enough time to watch about 5 hours worth of videos on like different mics and what gain is and why it does this and why it does that. Like, because my mic shit the bed. And
Trust me, I wish people would do some research and get those instead, because the one thing I love some of the people in our community. I think they play great games, but
there's more
a lot
things
of people
besides
have
Turtle
really-
Beach.
Yeah, they have really terrible headset taste. And when I say terrible headset taste, I'm talking about people recommending these damn H9s. The H9s sound terrible.
The hypers?
And I love PlayStation.
I looked into those too.
Oh no,
Yeah, I'm glad you did not get them.
the
No,
PlayStation.
yeah.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, the PlayStation
Well, I mean,
ones.
no.
The
they
thing is
sound
with
terrible.
they do, and like when I bought these, and just a little background story real quick, because I've never owned a good pair of headset. I had like my very first one was like outside of whatever PlayStation gave me that came with the console, was something a buddy of mine gave me just to play Call of Duty. Like, here, I want you to play with us. Here's, I don't have a headset. Here you go. Some weak ass Turtle Beaches. But my very first like decent were the PlayStation Pulses. And I really loved them. And then the Pulse Elites came out. I got those. My problem with the PlayStation 1 or headsets are that the quality just sucks. And mind you, I take good care of my shit. So if the headset's not on my head, they're on the stand. You know what I mean? And I'm not talking in the earmuffs. Nope, they're hanging from the center. And even then, the pleather starts to, kind of wither away. And it's just not that good quality. But I do love all the features it has. The 3D audio, the AI noise cancellation shit. So when I went on this headset,
let me be clear. When I say they suck, I'm talking about the mic, by the way. The sound is great.
yeah. Well, I use those for podcasting for years. And they weren't the best, but they got the job done, especially for what you pay. But anyway,
Absolutely.
so when I was looking for something to replace those, what I wanted at bare minimum was just the same features. Same features. I really didn't care about a better mic, better audio. I just wanted the same features, but better quality headset. And after about a week's work, somebody recommended the Maxwell 2 or the Maxwells. The 2s had just come out in January, and I jumped in. And I saw review videos. I saw people. It's important because you want to hear people talk with it, without it, comparison. And in the world that we nowadays, Game Pass, right? It's just all quick satisfaction, right? If it's not within a second or a minute, you skip the video. Well, you got to hear people out and actually delve deep, because then you make the wrong decision spending $70 on a game that sucks ass, or spending a lot of money on headsets that don't work for you.
Hey, now, you need to, that's a shot fired over the bow. That's so.
Your headset sounds good too. Calm down.
No, listen, no, I'm kidding about the shot over the bow. But I literally did exactly what Will is saying. The first 2 headsets I went back to go get. So I was going to get the Steel Series, just the updated version of the ones I already had. I liked it. I had finally figured out how to use the stupid, unuser-friendly Steel Series software.
I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Now I remember.
And so I go and I get the Gen 2s. Well, I come home, get them all set up, and I do a test recording. It sounds god-awful. They did something, and then I look it up, and of course, they did something with the microphone, and it just is bad now. It's terrible what they did. So I said, screw it. Then I saw in the comments of that video, hey, Gen 3 is not Gen 3. The P3s are better. They have the better microphone. So if you're not going to get a 1, get the 3, because both of those, even though they're on the cheaper end, have the better mic. And that's all I needed this damn thing for, is the microphone. I'll explain why I didn't get a boom mic if people want me to. But it just, headset works better for me because I pace, is the long and the short of it. And so I can't.
Well, that's the other thing too. You get up, walk around. You have the freedom to, with the Pulse. I love the Pulse Elites, man. They're really good, but the problem is that PS Link is complete trash. I mean, anybody who has the Pulse Elites know what I'm talking about. They disconnect. I mean, it's just all the time, and by all the time, it's multiple times a day. For me, it got a little bit better over time. It was like once a week happening. So you hear me cut off during a stream. I have to get up, unplug the dongle, plug it back in. And then the distance was literally 10 feet. And I'm gaming 6 feet away from my TV, 6 to 8 feet. So I'm like, that pissed me off. But when PlayStation announced the speakers, I was super hyped for them because they make good quality shit, except for that PS Link. So when I was looking into the new headset, I'm telling you, it was so hard to make a decision that I almost just went ahead and bought the marathon edition of the Pulse Elites. I was like, you know what? I'd rather deal with the negative shit of these headsets than pay something. It's going to be more to get the same features, for those of you guys that don't know, as far as what PlayStation brings to the table with their headsets. Then pay an extra $50 for something else where I'm going to be missing one of the things, whether it's 3D audio, whether it's the AI noise cancellation, whatever it is. So I found the Audis, man, and I'm super satisfied with them. A little pricier, but it's only about $30 more when you think about it. And I'm planning on keeping these for a long time. So versus buying a headset every few years.
Of them the way that you said you do, it'll treat you great, because I've had, at least on my PC, I've had Astro A40s for like 10 years.
Fire.
So yeah, when you get
and
really,
you can use PC, you can use Nintendo, you can use it on anything, even your phone. It has Bluetooth, you can hook it up via dongle. And another thing, in case you're looking, I'll say this last thing about the damn headsets, is that be careful what you're buying, because I'm telling you guys, I watched 30, 40 different people who specifically focus on audio shit. One thing that I learned that I didn't know before is that PlayStation has a little bouginess to them when it comes with headsets. They do something similar to what Apple does, meaning that the volume tends to be a little bit low on third-party headsets. So in case you did not know that, if you buy a headset, a PlayStation headset, you're like, oh wow, sounds louder. It may not be that the headset's louder, it's that because it is a first party thing, PlayStation kind of unblocks that for you. But I was watching shit of adapters to get that volume back up, and that really scared me. So when I saw that Audis was actually owned by Sony, they bought them out a couple years ago, I breathed easy because they were one of the few third-party headsets that didn't have that kind of minimize on audio, that tad bit there.
Oh, that's cool.
Because I'm a single player gamer, man. Because I like to put the headset on sometimes, not all the time. I generally wear them when I podcast, but if it's a single player narrative driven story, I like to put them on, get that 3D audio in while I'm playing, really make it like I'm in the game. So that was super important.
Yeah, I think the real reason why I went back to Best Buy 3 different times was because I kept trying to talk myself into getting the damn Edge controller. Listen, I said,
oh, you should have. Oh, beautiful controller.
I made decisions. I went back for the P3s. This is what I was saying, and then you started talking again about the Sony Link and PS stuff. I got the P3, came back home, was stoked because I saved $100. Like, that's really cool. And it has a better mic. Hell yeah! I record it, and it sounds like I'm in the bottom of the ocean. I was like, okay, stop doing this. So I didn't take them back that day. I waited, and that's when I started watching videos. All I did was I typed in on YouTube, best audio mic 2026. Or best mic in headset 2026. This, the A20X is what I got, was the best. This guy gets on there, talks about it, says it's this, that, the other, does the audio test for the microphone. And it sounded wonderful. Then I went and watched like 4 other videos. Then I watched some more. And so that's what I actually settled with was the
Steel Series.
No, hell no. Steel Series. Damn, what are they? They're the Logitech, but they're not Logitech. Astros. The Astro 20Xs.
Those were a close third for me, the Astros.
Yeah.
Jess recommended those.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he was on my podcast like 2 weeks ago, or right when I bought these. And by the way, if you buy them, they'll say it's 2-day shipping. It's true after they process your order, but it could be a week, 2 weeks. So I just recommend, I should have done this because I fuck with PlayStation Direct. Buy them from PlayStation Direct because PlayStation Direct does not fuck around. They ship the shit immediately. You get it within a couple days. But that's the other thing too is it's not like the Pulse Elite where you can have EQ and all that. No, you have to manually do that with the app and the other thing with the Audis is that you have all the knobs on the headset, which is something that I really wanted. I want to be able, like the Pulse Elites only has 3 buttons, which is less than what the first Pulse headset had, that you can control everything, volume, freaking, voice or game voice, all that. A lot of headsets don't have that anymore. Now it's just like 1 button or 2 buttons. These has a variety of buttons, but not too many where you get confused. So those are little small details that if you're swapping out, make sure that you're comfortable with what you're getting so you don't have to do it what Thrifty did and go back 3 different times.
Don't do what I did.
It wasn't his fault. He just didn't know that they fucked it, they switched it.
Yeah, that was really the problem. But now I have these. They sound good. They feel good. The main reason why I didn't go with one of the other brands, because I was looking up several different ones, was because I wanted one that had the cloth pad, because the Steel Series spoiled the hell out of me with the nice cushiony cloth pad on the ears. It feels so good. My ear breathes. It doesn't sweat. I ain't got to worry about that. I can wear them for 3 or 4 hours and they feel lovely. So anyways, that's enough talk about that. Also, I did get the Edge controller.
Nice.
Because
which color?
Black.
The black one? Yeah. I got 2 pairs, bro. I love them.
He was gonna get the white, but I talked him out of it.
Good job. I mean, the white look, to me, they look the best, right? But the black are just so damn practical, bro. Fuck.
It's just so pretty.
Favorite controller of all time.
Black one.
And listen, I even told Enate, I was like, man, I don't think I'm really going to use these back paddles. He was like, just give it a couple days.
Listen, I don't use mine. I still don't use mine.
Bro, so in Space Marine 2, now this is where the gaming talk starts and we get into this, guys. If you're here, hit the like button, all that stuff, subscribe, blah, 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 blah. Join in the conversation in the chat. Y'all are already talking. We got Rachie in the chat. We got It's Just Henry showing up. Hero's already interacting in there. We got Enate interacting with the chat already. Dredge King is here. So, like, come in the chat, interact, but this is where we're going to get into gaming. So, Space Marine 2 just came out to PS Plus. I am a cheap bastard. I was waiting for it to get down to a certain price point before I bought it, and hey, guess what? It got to PS Plus first. Shinobi did get down below my price point that I wanted to pay for it, which was $25. It's at $23.99 on the PS Store. If you still want to purchase games from PlayStation Store, go ahead and do so. It is on there right now. But Space Marine 2, I get in it, and it's one of those ones where they put the dodge button over on the X, circle, square, triangle button. It's actually on X. And so when you're panning the camera with the right stick, in order to dodge out the way, you have to lift your hand off the stick for just a split second to go over to the X to dodge. Well, if you put your frickin' button, if you put that button, assign it to the back, guess what? Now I can keep moving my fingers and turning the camera and stuff while dodging with the back trigger. It's a freaking game changer. Literally giving me one extra piece on the back of this controller makes me feel like I got every single cent that I spent on it worth it. It has absolutely changed how I go through and like play just Space Marine. I did the same thing in Cyberpunk because the dodge is on the circle button. Not anymore. Now it's on my right bumper.
Bro, I tried to tell you. I told you, give it. I know you hadn't had it for a
it
second.
Took like 2 days. It took 2 days.
Yeah, once you're like, oh my god, this is like I hate the way people overuse the term game changer, but it really is one. It's actually one.
I adjusted the right trigger in Space Marine 2, like actually using the slide button on the back, and it made a world of difference. Like I adjusted it and I was like, oh, this feels a little weird. It was awkward for like a half a second, but the response time felt so much more in tune with what I was trying to do. And so I kept it. And now it's just second nature now. The stick hangs.
Wait, what trigger do you know? Because I play Space Marine on PC, but what was the trigger to begin with though?
It was R2. But I changed it.
But you know that you can, you're, well, I don't know if you've seen it, but you can just change it to the short throw version, right?
Yeah. That's what I did.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying changed it to one of the.
No, I slid the button on the back up, in the middle.
That's what you were saying.
Oh my god!
You changed the setting. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it makes a big difference, right?
So good.
Yeah, you can tap that. You can feather that trigger.
Yes.
Yeah, it's amazing.
You don't feel like you're gripping the controller at that point, so the rest of your fingers, especially the one on the right bumper and the left bumper, are freed up to do more stuff. Like it's so good. So my wife, she still doesn't know what the hell the controller costs, and she never will. But because
it's worth it.
Like I told you, Enate, I have never ever spent that much on a controller, ever.
Yeah, I mean, like I told you, me neither. That was the first.
So she was. Too. I waited a few days, and then I finally last night I was like, okay, so just look at it. And she goes, it looks really cool. She goes, I love the details. I love the PlayStation symbols. I like that they're more legible on this one than they are on their other controllers. She was like, I like the fact that you can just pull that piece out and just go spend $20 and get a new one and slot it right in.
Yep.
She's like, I love the feel of it. It feels much more premium. Like, so she's like telling me about it as she's holding it. And I'm like, yeah.
That's another thing. I told you it feels better.
It does.
It feels more premium. That is the perfect way to say that.
It does.
The weight, everything about that thing is beautiful.
Yeah, it's so good. And then I started explaining to her the extra button, the combinations of it, what you can do, all that. And she was like, and that makes that much of a difference? I said, honey, it's completely change. Like, it literally has me thinking, I wonder if I could maybe try, like, I don't know, Bloodborne or something like that, where dodging and parrying are so monumental. Put them on those back buttons, see if it works better with response time.
Exactly.
Like,
It should work better.
So good. I am not advocating for anybody to spend $200 on a controller, but if you're hell-bent on spending $200 on a controller, that's the one to do it with. That's what I'll say. But Thrifty AAG as Xbox or Blood, waiting for it coming to sub.
Well, to be fair, you weren't actively waiting. You were waiting for it to go on sale.
Yeah, I really was.
And it came there first. See, that's the difference.
Like,
see, the Xbox guys, they be like, I'm not buying it at all. I'm waiting for it to come to the sub.
So $30 was my limit. It got close 2 sales ago. It was at $35.99. I was it's a game I watch. Like, I'm waiting. Let me get to 30.
I commend your discipline in deciding a specific threshold where you would pull the trigger, because I do the same thing.
I have to. If not, I would just go buy all the games I wanted, and my wife would look at me at the end of the month and go, "Hey, stop." Like, so,
another good game that came out on PS Plus too is Metal Eden. Go check that out. That's actually a pretty decent game.
I saw that came out.
One too, because I loved the demo.
Yeah, of course that comes out right after I got it on PC. So I got it on PC, and then it came out on PlayStation Plus.
Is it
story of my life, dude? I buy everything, and then everything ends up on PS Plus.
That game feels like it's running 120 frames.
I think it is.
Probably is.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, or high up there.
It's extremely buttery. It's fast. Like, so I had to decide between playing Metal Eden or playing Space Marine 2, because I was trying to play them like 30 minutes in one, because they're both short games. So like 30 minutes in one, 30 minutes in the other. The speed difference of both of those games, you can't do that. You just can't. It doesn't work. So I had to pick one. I picked Space Marines because, well, the executions are better. And so, but no. Yeah, so awesome. That's kind of what we've all been doing, what we've all been playing. Lord help. Let's get into some of these topics. There are about 1 million of them, but the one that I want to start with first, and it has been suggested to me that, once again, I make things as clear as mud, so let me explain what I mean by open world versus sandbox. What it should have said was open world versus open sandbox, because I think both of those are different. Now, as I was telling the guys before the show, if you go and look up a few different articles on this, you'll have about 5 to 10 different people tell you 5 to 10 different things on what they consider blah, 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 blah. So, with that being said, it's not very clean and clear cut, as most things in gaming aren't. There's a lot of stuff up for interpretation. What I mean by that is a game like Breath of the Wild, okay? You can go in, you can build anything you want, you can hang out and do nothing else with the game at all, just build. That's it. You don't have to progress the story. You will never reach a point where you can't just build. That to me is Sandbox. That to me is one of those games where people go, I have 800 hours in it. Ha ha ha. Like, that to me is what that means. Games like Minecraft do fall into this. They are open world, sandbox style games. For me, games like Skyrim would fall into this. RDR to a lesser degree, but I could see somebody making the case, like a couple of the articles that I looked at did, that RDR and RDR2 are open world sandbox, because there's just certain things that you can just keep doing over and over. And so then you have games like Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man, Miles Morales, that whole series. It's open world, but it's not really. Like, it's not open sandbox, rather. Let me say it that way. It is open world.
It's complete. It's open world, but it's completely structured.
It's completely structured. I I would also argue that Aloy, Horizon, is also a completely structured game. Eventually, you're running out of shit to do. Like, you can grab you can grab all the collectibles, and then there's nothing else. Like, outside of just running around and fighting things for the hell of it. Like, you're not actually doing anything. You're not building anything. You don't own a home. You don't get to build your house. Like, none of that. Unless you're playing the Lego version. And please, for the love of God, don't do that to yourself. I did it so you don't have to. That's all I'll say. So that's what I mean. And we're just going to get into it. Preferences, thoughts, kind of what maybe we like best in terms of the game. So, like, if I mention a game, like, I don't know, not God of War, but that's open, or that's open hallway, essentially. Not open hallway. That's not what it's called. What the hell is it called?
Hub.
Thank you. Open hub.
Linear.
It's linear. They actually called it something, and I can't remember what the fuck they called it.
Linear.
Wide linear? Was that what it was?
Yeah.
Okay. Because they when they talked about how they were... Anyways, F it. He played Lost Soul Aside for us. You damn straight I did, Rachy. I earned that
That's
sub
the first
from
game
you.
I traded in years.
That game was ass.
He said, "Yeah, that's got to go."
You don't even want to look at it.
Once I beat it, I deleted that shit from the system so fast. Like, get off here. You don't belong. Go away. Nobody wants you here. It was really bad. And so, yeah, let's dive into this topic a little bit. We'll start with Will. I started with Enate last time, which put Will at the bottom. So we're going to start with Will this time. Will, in terms of preference, or let me say this, because there is such variance and nuance with this conversation, if you want to take it down a different path and like maybe you have a different explanation for open world versus open sandbox or whatnot, then I'd love to hear that as well.
Similar as all you guys. I put, so like for example, open world games would focus more on freedom of exploration and movement in like a large or seamless or mostly seamless environment where you can go almost anywhere and whenever you want, usually with a main story that you can follow, ignore, or delay to later while exploring, you know, side content, quest, or the world itself. The world does tend to feel alive with NPCs or events, and there are some pre-designed content, but you're generally playing within the game's established systems, and I think that's what Enate was talking about with like a structure, right? Systems and rules rather than it fundamentally reshaping or you creating the world. Now, a sandbox game emphasizes freedom of action and creativity. So that's why I distinguish the two, where the creative part goes into the sandbox, where the game gives you tools, it gives you mechanics and systems so you can go out and experiment and build, destroy, you can manipulate or play in ways a developer didn't strictly plan. There's often little to no forced narrative or correct, quote unquote, correct way to progress. The fun comes from you, the player, driven goals, goals that you set for yourself or emergent gameplay. So many sandboxes have little or no overreaching stories, right? So a couple examples for, like a strong open world game, I would consider to be like The Witcher 3, Wild Hunt, or like Red Dead 2, Horizon 3. And then some of the pure strong sandbox games are the Minecrafts, Roblox, things like that. So I also have kind of like a third, what do you call that? Like kind of a third option when it goes into that. And that is games that blend both, which I think they're called open world sandbox games or sandbox with open world elements like GTA 5 or Elder Scrolls, Skyrim, No Man's Sky, things like that, where there's a little bit of both. But I honestly, when I hear the word sandbox, I kind of think of like live service. I don't know why. I don't even know if they equate to each other, but to me it just feels like a never ending thing where you can just go in there and build a freaking city if you want to, and not accomplish anything except whatever you set yourself out to do. So I think we see a lot of the younger generation playing those games. I don't know why. I should ask my son because he likes playing those type of games. Minecraft, for example.
Genshin.
Genshin, yeah. Where I like playing, firstly, like the single player narrative driven games. But when we look at open world, Crimson Desert just came out today, right? That one I think would be more of a your classic open world type of game. If all that makes sense. I don't know if that did. But.
Yeah, no. I think you really hit the nail on the head. I'm okay putting a third category in there. I would lump most of those games you put in that third category into the Sandbox category. But yeah, I can definitely see, because it does have elements of, hey, listen, there is an end to this. Like, Enate said beforehand, while we were all just hanging out, Enate brought up Skyrim. Like, hey, there is a definitive end to that game. But he followed it up by saying nobody reaches it. So it's still,
or if you do reach it, you can stay in there and keep going. You know what I mean? So I think that's also attractive, and I think that's maybe, and that's why I think I compare it to live service games a lot, because they're, in a lot of these games, they're selling you, DLC, skins, just all sorts of different stuff, where if you want to partake in that, you can. If you don't, you can just stay with the structure the game has set out for you, or dabble in a little bit of both.
Yeah. So Hero, what about you?
Yeah, I very much agree with most of what Will has said. Although I would probably expand it a little bit. The way I see open world games, yeah, they definitely have, I said that, yep. They have a definitive end, usually, in terms of the way they've been programmed. They have a definitive end, but they're really meant for exploration and for discovery. Open world games are open because you can usually go anywhere and start at any point in time and choose how you want it to end. Usually that's what I see with open world games. Recently, Ghost of Yote is a very good example, but even that has guardrails. It's the feeling of open is a feeling. It's not really full.
Yeah, that game was an illusion. That game was an illusion.
Exactly.
Yeah,
it was an illusion. I agree. Assassin's Creed Valhalla, as an example, is a massive open world game that also has guardrails, but you don't get to see that immediately. I think Ubisoft definitely has most of the best open world games in terms of their size, but not in terms of their structure. For Sandbox games, there are just three that come to my mind. And before I mention the three, the way I see Sandbox games is they are games that allow you to build your own experience within a boundary that you can't actually ever really see. And they are games that bring out a lot of creativity in people. They are games that are meant for you to use your noggin, like Wooly would say, use your noggin and just do something new. Minecraft, Roblox, even Dreams. And one thing they all have in common with what Will said is they're actually all live service, because I find that, I didn't think about this before, but I do find that probably all of them, but all I think about are all live service games done right. They are all Sandbox games. But I want to propose something that is a bit of a hybrid, and maybe Skyrim falls into this. I don't really see Skyrim. Never played it before, but I heard a lot about it. I think Skyrim might not really be an open world game, but it might be a bit of a hybrid Sandbox game, because you can actually construct things within Skyrim. You can also explore. Minecraft definitely is open world and hybrid at the same time, and open world and Sandbox rather at the same time, but sits more under the Sandbox area. Zelda Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. Crimson Desert is actually in the same vein. Mind's Eye on PC specifically. Open world games that allow you to actually interact with the environment, with the characters, and very deep AI integrations that makes it feel seriously alive, that you can actually build things and think of building up a house by yourself. An example, the game that came out before Fortnite took over, I can't remember the name of that game. The live service game that came out at the time that people were really playing. That game also is open
Battlegrounds.
World. Yes, PUBG. Yeah, it's also open world Sandbox. So that's where I see it. I see they are different, but there is a hybrid line where they actually interact. And one of the reasons why I think Crimson Desert will be a major success is it's a sandbox game for adults. Because the other sandbox games are really for younger people or people with young minds, not like necessarily children, but people that can think like kids. Uh, I believe Crimson Desert. I know we're not talking about that right now, but I believe it's going to succeed mainly because it's open world for us to relax in and play as we want, but it's also sandbox for us to do things that will blow our minds. So I feel like there's a convergence between both of them. But my preference, I spend a lot of time at work building things, interacting with people, going into meetings, negotiating, and being a bit more creative than I would want to be. I get tired from that. When I come home to play a game, I'm naturally not interested in building anything. I just want to play. So I believe the younger you are and the more time you have in your life, you'll probably go towards sandbox games. But the older you are, the more responsibilities you have, the more cost your life is bringing in. You just want mostly an open world game where you don't have to build, unless the only maybe difference is unless if you can actually access a store where you can pick up things that other people have built and then integrate that into your own game. So in that way, you can use the hybrid format. Okay, I'm done.
Okay. So I don't know. See, for me, I still would say I still put Starfield in. No, not Starfield. I haven't played it or seen enough of it played to actually be able to put it into a category. But from what I know of Bethesda, those always have felt more sandboxy. And so, yeah, that's just for me. But once again, I wouldn't touch that with your controller. So I have no desire to look it up, watch it, see it. That thing's going to come. It's going to be a little thing all over my PlayStation that says, hey, play me. And I'm going to be like, yeah, no. And then I'm going to move on with my life. And so I have not any desire to play Starfield. But yeah, I mean, if I can see that. Hey, what up, Jez? How are you, man? Hey, I have to go back and watch the rest of your gameplay. I caught the first little bit when you were in the town. You had the cat, which was hilarious. I thought we was going to have a little kitty to follow Jez around the whole game. But he was playing Crimson Desert over on his channel. Don't know why I can't talk tonight. But Enate, what do you have to add to this?
Yeah, so for me, I don't think the distinction for them comes in between open world or sandbox, right? For me, they are the same thing. And I'll tell you why, because even Steam lists them as the same thing. So unlike a lot of other places where you search, you can look directly at each genre and also subgenre, right? So there's a specific one for sandbox, right? Every game that you mentioned that you thought was maybe open world or some of you guys thought was hybrid, they're all under sandbox. Because ultimately, whether they're structured or not, you're still in a sandbox. The only way you wouldn't be is, essentially if you had the entire world at your disposal, like you basically were limitless, right? So like for me though, in the distinction of closer to what you guys were talking about, to me, something that's more like a sandbox, the separation for me is something like Ark Survival Evolved is a sandbox. Minecraft is a sandbox. All these, make your own fun type of games without structure and really without a narrative and all these other things, that is a sandbox to me. Let me put you in this place and you can play. That's the standard sandbox. Now, again, what you would have on the other side is the structured sandbox open world title, right? And the open world title, because there's a world there for you to explore. And a lot of these standard sandbox titles, you're expected to build the world, right? But something that's structured like, we talked about, like Spider-Man, like GTA, and so on, right? They are structured when you play their single player, you play that narrative, you go through with it, you know, you can finish. There's like 300 quests or something, or jobs to do or whatever in, you know, GTAs when they drop. But you can play it start to finish, go through each thing, all the side quests, whatever, and you can finish it. You know, you can tow cars and you could just run around and run from the cops afterwards. That's the sandbox portion of it. You know, so that's why I said it's both, right? But in the distinction that, like I said, that you guys were making, that's what I really think about those games. When those games, and I'm not a fan of those, right? I hate make your own fun games. Like, I literally can't stand them.
Like, I paid
that
you to
is
give me
the
fun.
worst.
You give me
Yeah.
fun.
Exactly. Like, I hate that. But that stuff thrives on PC, or at least it did for a while. Ark Survival, Rust, all these things are here's a sandbox, and we're gonna give you tools like cavemen, and you go build a structure and you fight each other, and you fight in this world. You're literally making your own fun. No basics. Pick a plot of land, build a thing, a fort, whatever, and then fight each other over that fort and resources. Like, that's that sandbox, make your own fun. I hate that. You know, open world for me that I like is, like I said, that's where that distinction comes in, and those are the things I like. And that's why I said something like Skyrim, I don't really play that way. The way that you guys were talking about earlier, where they're like, oh, it never ends. Yeah, I don't do that. Um, I'm start to finish. I go for the quest I want to do. I'm the leader of the college, the mage college. 5 minutes in, I'm also taking over the Assassin's Guild. I'm doing exactly what I came to do. I'm taking over all of Skyrim, and then I'm gonna slay the dragon. And I'm out. I'm a very specific person in the way that I'm objective based when I play that way. Same thing for Spider-Man. I'm not messing around, swinging around the city for hours on end, just doing nothing. I'm going from point to point. I'm getting things done. But yeah, like I said, that structured environment, and same thing for like The Witcher, right? We're saying that's obviously extremely structured, right? It's despite it being huge, right? Like, you can spend 200-300 hours playing The Witcher 3, playing Gwent, just riding your horse around, looking. You can make your own fun if you wanted to. He's literally a monster slayer, right? There's forever, monsters spawning in areas that weren't there before. The drowners are always near a lake, if you want to kill some drowners. But the structure is there. Then that's the key to me. And that's that structure and that narrative, to drive everything forward, to drive you through the world and progress you through that world. I think that's probably the bigger distinction for me, is when you have something to drive you through that world versus make your own fun. And both. This is something that me and Morgan have talked about extensively, because we both hate make your own fun games. The moment we see something and you're like, yeah, make your own fun. And that's not to say, and the reason I say that is because there's make your own fun, and then there's structured building. So one of the things we associated earlier, everybody was saying, a lot of them have building, right? The make your own fun games. But there is structured games that have building mechanics to them, where you're still not really making your own fun. Like, the building has a purpose, or it's part of the narrative. It's your home, it's your base, it's, whatever it turns out to be, but you're still not really making your own fun. They're still driving you towards that, right? Like, there's building
like
aspects to Fallout. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Fallout 4 has building aspects, but you literally can play the game and never build a thing. Like, if you really wanted to.
So that's that hybrid.
Yeah. So it's a hybrid, but like, even when you build, there's a purpose to it, right? Like, you're building up a structure, you are creating a base of operations that has a narrative purpose, right? Like, one of the things that you do in Fallout 4, when you help the Minutemen and stuff like that, you're recruiting people for ultimately like a war and stuff that happens within the Commonwealth. Like, you're not just building it for funsies, like you and your homies playing around in like like a Minecraft server. Like, there's literally no reason you're doing that. You're doing that because you want to. Like my one of my friends on the podcast, her daughter showed us like her Minecraft world. Her Minecraft world is the way it is because that's what she felt like doing. There's no structural narrative,
Sure.
anything to
Yeah.
why she did it. She built a town, she built a jail, she built an execution chamber. Yeah, yes.
Damn.
Yeah, I know.
How old
It's
is
elaborate.
she?
Well, she's like 12 now. Yeah, but at the time she did
Oh,
that,
that's
she
normal.
was like, yeah, she was like 9 at the time. But yeah, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, she built this elaborate thing. So like, she was like, well, if they're mean and they get on my nerves, I'll put them in the execution chamber, and you pull the button,
Facts.
and then it drops them into the lava, and
Hell
then
yeah.
like it was a whole thing.
Giving me ideas.
But yeah, that's what I'm
Minecraft,
saying.
you
Like,
say.
yeah, Minecraft. Yeah, she was going crazy. And I was like, bro, this is crazy. And she spent hours on end doing that. And I'm like, I get the fun that she's having in that. And I get why people have fun doing that. But for me, bro, my fun in Minecraft is going to last. I'm going to build a house out of dirt for 5 minutes, throw down a table, and be like, all right, I want to go play something else. Like it ends right there. And I know because I was on PC back then when, a lot of my friends loved Minecraft and they got into it. I even played a mod where we had Pokemon, and you could have Pokemon in Minecraft, and we would catch Pokemon like you were playing Pokemon, but you were playing Minecraft. It got crazy. So yeah, like I said, for the most part, I think those are the bigger distinctions for me. Something like a Dragon Quest builder, those things versus Dragon Quest, right? Perfect example, right? Dragon Quest is an open world game. It is, you are not there to do nothing. If you don't progress the story, you will go nowhere, right? But it is open world. Their most recent one, Dragon Quest Reimagined, open world. But if you do not progress the story, you will be stuck on island number 1, period. But Dragon Quest Builders, hey, here's this huge area. Go crazy. That's giving you that sandbox. So yeah, I think that's probably the biggest distinction for me. But obviously they blend together and they do mix them.
Yeah.
Because like I said, when you look up Sandbox on any of these sites, even on Steam, like I said, I have Steam pulled up here on my second monitor, and I literally went to Sandbox, and all those games that we were talking about that have that structure are also in here. But also at the very top is a game called Teardown or something, and this game is literally what we're talking about. Make your own fun. Like, they're just crashing yachts and cars into each other and going crazy, and it's just mayhem.
Yeah.
So they're making their own fun. There's just no structure. But yeah, that's what I mean. So yeah, that's the best way to explain it.
All right then.
Just quick addition. Death Stranding 1 and 2 sandbox games with an open world structure.
I agree.
I would
Which is
absolutely
why I
agree
never
with
built
that.
anything. I didn't build
agree.
anything. I used what other people had built, really.
Yeah, but
Yes,
you
and I
could if
spent
you wanted
hours
to
on end
build.
building things and building things to the next level, especially in Death Stranding 2. I got to the point where I couldn't go nowhere without level 2 roads. I had to have them. I had to have the structured roads because it made your car travel like 3 times faster, and it shielded you from the rain because it added a shield. So I went around, and anybody who was linked to my game, you got shielded level 2 roads everywhere you went. I was not playing.
Cool.
So yeah, exactly. That's perfect.
That's awesome. Josh said, "Yeah, I need the roads." What's up, Josh? Okay, so sorry, I'm just checking the chat real quick. Outsider
Speaking
Gaming
of which,
Night.
though, that was a really unique thing. By the way, I really don't think some people who haven't really gotten into Death Stranding understand how unique the multiplayer aspect of Death Stranding is. That thing is so impressive. Like, one of the things that will gradually bring you together. Like, Morgan's on my friends list, but she didn't always appear in my world. But as I found a structure from her, she found a structure from me, and we would like each other's stuff. It would tie our strands closer together, and we would our structures would appear more and more in each other's games till we were at like maximum strand. So pretty much everything in her world and everything in my world were like combined. So we started pulling more into each other's worlds. Yeah, it was epic. Like that's
how
so
David
cool.
and I played together. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I haven't experienced that in any other game.
Dang,
which
that's really
which
cool.
goes back to the theme of the game. You know, they're tying strands together. They're building bridges. You know, like I'm telling you, man. Kojima's
that's
a
really
damn
cool.
genius.
Okay, so let's transition in from one genius to people who are not geniuses. We are going to discuss real quick. There have been more layoffs at Ubisoft. It's a story that I've done with the channel for a while. Ubisoft, ever since they decided to, or the rumors came out that they were going to be splitting studios, I've kind of been following it and, you know, keeping up to date on what's going on with them. And, well, they have laid off 105 people at Red Storm. The studio co-founded 30 years ago by Tom Clancy converts it to a support role. Backs it on down, converts it to a support role, and they've ended the game, or they've ended game development at the famed Red Storm studio as part of its global cost-cutting efforts, a move that will see 105 employees put out of work. Red Storm itself will remain open. A VGC report says it will operate going forward as an IT and Snowdrop engine support studio. Damn. Red Storm was founded in 1996 by Tom Clancy. Yes, that Tom Clancy. Doug Littlejohns and the software company Virtus. There we go. Virtus Corporation. Following the series of Sim Tom Clancy SSN in 1996. The studio snuck out, blah, 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 blah. They make all the fucking Tom Clancy games. They made Future Soldier in 2012, Werewolf Within, Star Trek Bridge Crew. Oh, they made shit. Okay, so this makes a lot more sense. I thought, remember guys, I don't read all the articles, okay? And so I thought this was the studio that was still working on the Rainbow Six games. They are the ones who created them, but they're not the ones who continue to work on them. So they are going down to be a support studio, and I had this thought as I saw the headline and shared it in the Discord. I had this thought. What if them what if them partnering and creating that Vantage Studios was just a way for them to almost safeguard their top IPs from getting completely and utterly dismantled? Like, that's, as we keep seeing stuff with Ubisoft, and as we keep seeing stuff come out with them, it's almost like everything is a fire sale. Everything has to go, but because Tencent is over here, put up the money to be able to protect these 3 massive franchises of theirs, we know those are safe. It almost feels like everything else is going. Holy crap on a stick. Steven Leon back in the gaming den. Shows up, drops a 20 bomb. Holy cow. If you just got hit with that, come on in, say hi. We got Ares Sinslayer, Brett Siley 7751, I can't never say his name, Ocelot, Captain Waffle 87, Fishy, I hate that name, Fishy Queefs, thanks a lot. So, Sinister Sephiroth, Ryan Landis 6849, Freddy 2147, Rios Unlimited 7413, Trails 95, Ain't Got No Games, Cued, Goodwin Bijou 4636, Zolran, Laxus Dryer, PlayStation and PC Gamer. We got Josh Ayers hitting the member for 22 months, almost 2 years, hit all the buttons. Steven, how did you... Outsider Gaming, I have no idea how that happened. Hellfire Ass, Spider King X, and then the Spick and Span. Guys, y'all are going to get me booted for reading some of these names. I just... I can't... Especially that last one.
Those are quite the names.
Listen, I am too white to be saying that name. It's just... They kill people for less. Anyways. Oh my gosh. That's funny. It's okay though, because I have Hero, Enate, and Will on. So like, that means I'm cool, right? That's how
You
that works.
are officially approved. You're good to
I'm
go.
officially approved. I got stamped. All right. Hey, Steven, man, I appreciate it. Turn off Ultra Instinct. Damn. That's funny.
Yeah,
Okay.
because he missed them.
Because he missed him. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
I just like the DBZ
Uh,
reference. Okay. So Hero, this is I know you like the Assassin's Creed stuff. You play some Ubisoft titles here and there. So what do you think about what's going on with Ubisoft? Here we have another 105 people shut down. The studio's getting sent to be IT help. And so I mean, man, what do you got for this?
Um, it's a good bad pill to swallow because shutting down a studio, any studio, is actually bad. But cutting staff and keeping the studio in a capacity where they will actually always have work to do is much better. Um, I've never been a Rainbow Six Siege fan or anything because first person, first person, right? But Splinter Cell has been my jam. A little bit of Assassin's Creed, but mostly Splinter Cell and Ghost Recon. The thing is, it's bad that so many people are losing their jobs, but I think the positive I can say about it is they found a way to keep the studio alive, and for that I will commend them. It's just making a better shit sandwich out of a very shitty situation. Um, as someone who has lost his job probably twice, I can't remember, I think twice in my life, and seeing that my colleagues are able to continue, there's a little bit of anger, sadness, and okay, it's fine. As in those are the emotions I actually always felt. So right now, I think there's going to be a lot of survivors guilt for the people that didn't lose their jobs. But this is the same situation as like Blue Point, as an example. We don't know if it's actually been shut down yet. It's still March. It's almost the end of March. We've not heard anything official. So for Ubisoft to do this, it's the best they could have done because it seems like the studio wasn't really very active on big projects anymore,
No.
and it's a case of if they shut it down, people would shout. If they kept them on without doing anything, people would also shout. But then companies are not built to waste money. Forget capitalism as consistent growth every single quarter on quarter. But the truth of the matter is that keeping a smaller team that can actually work on multiple projects from multiple other bigger studios is much better for me. Now, human lives have been affected, and that is never good. But one thing I will say is the solution is very, very obvious. And this will relate to another topic we're going to talk about. Instead of having full-time staff, I think a studio should not be more than a medium-sized studio, probably 50 people, a small studio, probably 20 staff at most. Let everybody else be contractors, seasonal workers, so they don't feel the impact of losing their job. Before one contract ends, they've moved on to the next one, they've lined one up. It has a much better impact psychologically and even for the business. Fine, you pay higher cost up front, but at least you manage PR and you manage your other bigger costs over time. So maybe the industry is going to go in the right way where we actually have more contractors and less full-time staff across all studios and all publishers. But this is the best they could have done. So I can't really criticize them that much right now. They're in a bad situation and they're trying to make the best out of it.
I'm trying to decide if I want to pull the thread on something you said or if I just want to leave it alone.
Yeah, you can leave it alone.
You said just leave it alone?
Leave it alone. Let's get to that.
Well, I don't know if the contractor, I don't know if I'm down with that because the way contractors get treated here in the States is not that fucking good. So they don't get health care a lot of times. They don't.
Yeah, that's true.
Like Microsoft is notorious for putting people on contracts so they don't have to pay them benefits. And so I have a bit of an issue with just contract work because I don't trust corporations to do right by their employees, at least here in the States. And so that's about the only, that's that thread that I wanted to kind of tease a little bit. Will, what about you, man?
This sucks symbolically, right? Not for efficiency purposes, not for anything that.
And I'm not even worried about the
they-
105 people. They're going to find jobs. That's
yeah,
fine.
and I mean, yeah, but why did this happen is the real question here, right? And I think this is just another part of Ubisoft's broader cost-cutting and restructuring efforts, right? I mean, they announced earlier in 2026 that they were starting with a major reset in January. The company, they've been facing ongoing financial problems and underperforming recent titles, poor sales performance. They blamed on numerous factors: high development costs, canceled projects like Division Heartland, which Red Storm was contributing to before its 2024 cancellation, if you guys didn't know. But a goal to save 200 million pounds through efficiencies, like we've seen all over the industry. And of course, redundancies. That's a big problem that studios have all over the place. Delays have been another problem, and just optimizations of these studios. I mean, Ubisoft has a big, what's the word? They have a ton of people working for them, right? So reorganization, restructuring, and this is the kind of stuff that happens because of it. I think that these creative houses that focus on core franchises and try to increase their or keep pushing those same projects out, right? Because those are the ones that are doing the best, bringing in the money. It's what they're going to be focused on specifically. And unfortunately, Red Storm, which had already seen prior layoffs in a few years ago, including cancellations, this move just aligns with Ubisoft's push to streamline everything. And I think operations are going to centralize tech support with the Snowdrop engine and just prioritize profitability in their live service games are going to be their main push forward. And unfortunately, Red Storm is not part of that.
Oh, sorry, I had myself muted. At least not in the way that they could have been. Also, if you do read down in the article, we will see that they were a VR studio, and so the attach rate of VR has been abysmal in.
When's the last time Ubisoft even attempted anything VR? You know what I mean?
2022 was the last time they attempted it. It was a Splinter. It says it in the article. It was a Splinter Cell VR game.
Yeah.
And so, that's almost the same kind of scenario that there was over at, and this is going to, some people might get upset about this, but the same scenario that we heard of over at Blue Point. Like, ain't released a game in 5 years. You've been working on things. None of them have come to fruition, and we now need to move on. And
I've been blaming, and I'll do it here again. Especially with Ubisoft. And look, I'm not a Ubisoft hater. I actually defend Ubisoft a lot because whenever they come up with a game, it works. It's never really buggy or broken. It runs well. You have, it's just a well-made game, not a good game for some, but it's just what do you call that? I don't know what the word is.
I don't know what you're trying to say. Comfort food, maybe?
No, it's like the skills to make something, like you know how to bake a pie. It doesn't mean the pie is delicious, but you know the techniques to make that pie. It's like Ubisoft has got that technique down pack on how to make a game. I think what they really need to work on is how good that game is. But aside from that, with Ubisoft, and not just a Ubisoft problem, but the video game industry has a huge problem with leadership. Leadership in the video game industry is just, abysmal. And I actually did a little rant about that in the video I just dropped today. Will it play with no internet? Crimson Desert. This is one of the biggest industries in the whole wide universe, right? 100 plus yearly. But yet we seem to have the worst leaders, the worst journalists, the worst business people, the worst in everything. And how is that possible with an industry that makes so much damn money? I will never understand it. But just like anything, I blame leadership. If leadership can freaking get in there and know how to manage the creatives and the business side of things and push these studios the right way. Because look, let's be real. We all talk about being leaders and not followers, but there's only being a leader, being a good manager is kind of a niche thing. And those are the people that I think these studios need to go after instead of developers. I think you can train somebody to be a developer. You can't train them to be creative, right? But you can train them to be a developer. And I think they need to start going after true leaders, true management, and true creatives, and then let the rest sort itself out as far as development goes. I mean, fuck, you can hire anybody, contract anybody, hire any of these other studios out there to do the quote unquote dev work. But if they focus on the actual IP and the creation part of it and the management part of it, I think it will fare a lot better, not just for them, but for us as well. Like when I hear 10 years development on a game, especially from a studio that is not like a world-renowned studio that every time they drop a game is a banger, I just think like, how many millions of dollars are being wasted? And then you start to nitpick. How many baristas are they got coming in this week to fucking make their little pictures on their coffee and shit, right? How many chefs are gonna come in to cook them their lunch? And then you start going down the fucking row, and then you're like, holy shit, these motherfuckers are spending $350,000 a day on fucking somebody who restocks the fucking Cheetos. You know what I mean? And it's just so unfortunate because we're the ones who end up paying for it at the end of the day, not just in money, but also in time, right? We're sitting here waiting for the next big IP. I mean, to be real, Crimson Desert doesn't deserve the hype that it's fucking getting, right? But it's getting it because it's the first.
It's a big game. That's why.
It's a big game. It's a huge game that's open world, that looks to have good graphics.
And it's
that
not
looks to
from
have
the usual suspects.
And it's not from the usual. Thank you, Thrifty.
Oh, sorry. I just.
No,
My bad.
No, that's it right there, dude.
My bad. I was being more conversational. I'm so sorry.
No, you're good. Yeah, you're fucking right, dude. That was all I was gonna say is that they're not the usual suspects. They're not the ones that are, they're throwing a whole bunch of shit in there, mechs and flying and dragons and lions and tigers and bears and Dorothy and the whole 9 yards. So now people are interested. But normally we would tear this fucking game apart. We would be like, and we kind of did, right? People criticize them a little bit, which is well founded, by the way. But we did criticize them a little bit, like, how are you gonna get this game to run that well with all this shit in there? But we didn't go hard enough. Right? We saw PC gameplay and PC for how fucking long that people just kind of like, okay, well, everything else is secondary. No, the fuck it ain't, because you're still selling the PlayStation, you're still selling the Xbox, right? So these people should get good quality, just as good quality as PC. Now, I said just as good quality, not just as good performance and just as good graphics and just as good as PC is getting, but they do deserve, like a paying customer, the same effort that you put into the PC port of that game into the console port of that game. Like, how are you gonna like it? But people out there just defend everything because it's a shit that they like or it's a shit that they're interested in, and we don't do a good enough job of holding them to the fucking fire. Like, I'm gonna be so interested, and I'm sorry to bring up Crimson Desert right now, but it's just, it came up while I brought it up, but I'm so interested, and I'm already starting to see it right now, especially with these fucking loser social media guys. They're already fucking sucking the nipple of Crimson Desert, right?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
This is the perfect game. Like, oh my god. Look, that's my shit, right? Like sci-fi, medieval, like I love that, right? But we're already gonna start to see how they're gonna be defending this shit. And another thing, and I'll say this last thing before I send it back to you guys, is and this isn't just generalization of the industry, right? And the reason I'm really speaking about generalizations and with Crimson Desert and what I'm about to say next is because all this affects of why this studio shut down, right? It's not just the one thing, it's all these little things that added up to the one thing. But another rant that I had in my video is that these dudes on social media, and you see it all the time, I'm not gonna buy the game. And speaking of Crimson Desert again, I'm not going to buy the game till I hear from my reviewer or the channel that I watch the most, or from, I hear from whoever. But guys, these dudes are paid. This is a paid ad, right? These reviews are paid in one way or another, whether it's relationship building, whether it's access, whether it's monetarily. I went on a huge deep dive in the last couple of weeks trying to figure out why are these people so easily bought, right? Well, they're not easily bought. FYI, a channel of thrifties, for example, can get paid up to $200 for a review of a game, right? A channel of my size, where I'm close to 4,000, can get paid anywhere between $500 to $1,000 for a game. Now, when you're talking into the big boys, right, the big leagues, million subscriber plus,
Hey,
they can get paid.
pause. Can you send me that website after this? Can you send
Man, hey, me and Henry were talking about Gotti. This is Gotti right here. But million subscriber plus, guys, they're looking at $50,000 to $100,000 for a fucking review, and that's not including your little paid adverts like Shadow War. That's not even including that. That's just a straight up review. So when you hear these guys say, "I had an agreement with whoever, Capcom, with Pearl Abyss, with Ubisoft, that they respect my opinions and they're allowing me to speak my mind," that is complete dog shit. If you're paying somebody $50,000 to review your product, you, the listener, me, right? Let's say you invented a fucking cup and you're gonna pay Thrifty $5,000 to review your cup. You're gonna expect for him to fucking say the nicest things he can say about that shit. And if he's got something negative to say, he needs to shut the fuck up, right? You can tell me behind closed doors. We can talk about that then, and I'll see if I'll make improvements. But we're already late in the development process, baby. This thing's coming out in a week, so we ain't changing shit, right? We may fix stuff later on, but that is what's going on. So you waiting for your favorite fucking reviewer because you think he's got some sort of fucking scout's honor? Stop lying to yourself. We're all adults here. Let's not act like when we drive down the street and we see a hooker down the street, it's not a fucking hooker. Okay? Because it is.
And here's what I recommend. I don't really have a favorite reviewer anymore. I have Will 777JP. I got Henry Heck. I got Enate. I got Morgan.
Yeah.
I got the Discord. I got
And guys, we have ourselves. We've been gaming for 30 years. A lot of us are here are 30 plus. You know what I mean? We've been gaming. We know. We can tell when the game looks good.
Something feels bad to me about Crimson Desert. I don't know what it is. It's probably because it's a sandbox game. That's not for me.
I'll tell you what. What's the name of them people that got access last week to this game? The console version.
They've been bought. Digital Foundry.
Digital Foundry. I mean, I already didn't like Digital Foundry. I'll tell you what, after this shit right here, this is the evidence we needed to fucking nail Digital Foundry to a fucking cross, because them dudes are so bought and paid for, it is not even funny. The fucking upscaled AI in the PS5 Pro makes this game look like dog shit. You can't even see it's just so overproduced. It's like hearing auto-tune. That's what it feels like when you play this game. It's like everything is auto-tuned, every fucking thing. And it's embarrassing. And these people should be embarrassed. And by the way, Will Powers, the fucking marketing guy, now we understand why he was so defensive when people were asking for more information on the console version. Now we know why he got so defensive, telling gamers that he's sick and tired of being asked the same question. It's because we just got a pile of dog shit with a whole bunch of perfume sprayed on it, so we can't smell the dog shit while we grab the game off the shelves. But as soon as you get home and you insert that motherfucker, you're going to feel all that dog shit. And look, you may disagree with me on that, but pay close attention. Pay attention to the details. And that's what separates studios like PlayStation's first-party studios, Naughty Dog, and Insomniac. It's those little details that really clean the game up and really make it feel like that tier 1 type of game. That is the difference. Same thing with Ubisoft. Ubisoft does the same thing with their polish, right? It's just that their games aren't as good story or gameplay-wise, but you can never say that their games are broken pieces of shit. I'm sorry, and that's why that studio closed down.
That's fine. Nate,
to what Will said.
Okay, go ahead, Henry. Hero.
Two quick things. One, I've not played Crimson Desert yet, right? But I have also pre-ordered it. Remember last couple of years ago when Horizon Forbidden West came out and it had the shimmer, and all the reviewers were killing the game because of the shimmer that was
the hero shimmer is what they called it. The hero light.
Hero shimmer. The hero shimmer. Thank you for that. Even Digital Foundry also were part of people criticizing the game for that, and they nitpicked every single thing. Now, I had slight interest in Crimson Desert, and I got it because I thought, it's a world I think I can play in. I'll just buy it for my FIFA replacement, so to speak. That's what I got it. And that's what I wanted to say about that. But the other thing is when Will talked about reviewers saying, I'm just going to give my opinion. They have no input in what I'm saying. I'm just doing this. you don't even need to go to the reviewer level. All of us are employees, right? And we work for different companies. There are so many things we disagree with the people we work with. But the way we actually state our disagreement, we do it in such a way that ensures we do not lose our jobs until we have another one. And we're just talking about basic income, right? High income, probably in some cases, but basic income. You're not telling me that more or less free money that comes on the side from a different company, from someone you're not immediately associated with for the long term, you're not going to sell your soul for that? It doesn't make any sense. If you paid me 50,000 Australian dollars to say that a game was good, as long as people don't know where I live and they don't know my actual identity, believe me, I would say it. I will pocket the money, and that's the level of my integrity.
Well,
As long
Hero,
as you don't know who I am.
Hero,
But if you know
even
who I
just
am, I
taking
won't
it,
do that.
even just taking it to a very human level, right? Let's say there's somebody you really dislike, like you just don't like them. Your views are completely, opposite. They, whatever, you just do not like them, and they invite you into their home. No matter how much you dislike this person, you're still going to treat them with a level of respect, right? You're not going to just put your feet up on the table. You're not going to, slap his wife. You're not going to just go in his fridge. You're going to be respectful. Now, you're not going to let them disrespect you. You keep it cordial, right? Even with these reviewers, it's the same exact thing. Even if you want to be negative, right? And you want to speak your voice, they just filled your pocket up, man. So even that bias within us, and we all have it, only allows you to go so far. But Steven, I'm not saying that Crimson Desert is trash. It's not trash. I'm actually having a good time with it. I'm about an hour. What I'm saying is that the visuals that they told us in Digital Foundry, or the small issues that the game had, are not small issues. They're big issues, and they're distracting issues that I'm not now. Every time I'm walking, I'm just looking around for even more fucking issues. Like, they're so noticeable. It's not going to stop me from playing the game. I'm just saying that it's not what they told us it would be. That's it. To me, the game seems pretty fun so far. I'm actually super excited to get deep into it and actually get it. I've been saving myself. I've been saving myself for this game. I've only been playing Marathon for the last 2 weeks because I didn't want to start anything, because I want to get into this game and actually play it. And I'm enjoying it. It's really good. But those details that Digital Foundry said, oh, it only happens on what is it? The Spider Hill or whatever, Bug Hill, right? yeah. No, those issues are not just over there on Bug Hill.
So, I'm gonna wrap this back over into Enate, onto the Ubisoft section. Do you have anything to add to this, Enate?
No, I mean, like you said, I mean, it's a given restructure. They weren't really doing anything major. So honestly, I think it's a good outcome for a studio that wasn't really producing anything, right?
Yeah.
You can't really have a studio just kind of sitting there. I think making them a support studio for Snowdrop and stuff, I think is great, because the Snowdrop engine is solid, but you always need that back-end assistance. So I think they made the best decision for them to keep all the people they could, and benefit their other titles that do use the Snowdrop engine. Because there are a lot of them. So, yeah, I think, like I said, I think they did a really solid job.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah, that's once I got to the end of the article, I was like, oh, that's why they got shut down. Got it. So like it made a lot more sense. And if these are like developers, Josh even made the point that they're not going to find jobs, or some of them won't find jobs back in gaming. I'll be honest with you, some of them don't want jobs back in gaming. I've actually talked to a couple different people through my work. I meet a ton of different folks, and a couple of them have been ex-game developers that like they just won't go back into it. Now they run like IT department somewhere at department store X, because like they're like, nah, I'm not doing that. That was the most miserable stuff I've ever done in my life. Like, and so some of them won't be going back to that. Some of them will though. And then some of them will probably be out of the job for a little bit. But the long and the short of it is, Ubisoft told them that this was a possibility. Like, if the company comes out and says, hey, we're doing a massive restructure starting in January, my butt's looking for a job. Yep. Because I'm like, you know what? I haven't given them a reason to let me go, but Lord help, it's a possibility. Everything is on the table.
That's the situation right now.
Do what?
I'm in that situation right now.
Oh yeah, like if you tell me big cuts are coming, uh, cool. I have to assume that I'm going to be on the chopping block. Like, and so they have had several months to get their names out there, get their feelers out, line up employment and all of that. Now, backdoor meetings are what they are. If somebody
Well,
was told,
to add to that real quick is you're right. It's we a lot of times we blame the publisher or big company, but let's be real, guys. How many of these studios just mess things up their damn self, right? And I don't know much about what do they call Red Soft, but there's nuance in all of this. And if they haven't put out a project or even a successful project in how long, plus they didn't have anything that Ubisoft saw. And look, in this situation is a little bit different too, because we know that Ubisoft has been doing some hardcore restructuring, right? They told us that they're going to be focusing on the major IP, Rainbow, Assassin's Creed, all that. So it really doesn't leave a lot of room for this small studio to kind of stand apart from the bullshit and be like, okay, well, we're gonna work on the next Assassin. No, well, you're only 150 to whatever people man studio. We need can't. But there is nuance in everything, and unfortunately, all this talk is just opinionated because we don't have every specific detail. And something that Thrifty said earlier, which makes a lot of point. A lot of people will not be coming back to this business. Also, how many of these people that got laid off were part of the founding studio back in like 96 or whatever and been doing this for 30 years and just are out of touch, man? Look, I'm in my late 30s. I am so out of touch with like the music nowadays, with the movies now. Like I couldn't tell you what's cool, what's not, right? Like I'm still surprised that I'm an adult and a parent. I'm like, damn, I'm a parent? Like what the fuck?
Somebody at work was playing this song and it was a rapper that sounded like he was swallowing the microphone. And I was like, this sounds awful. I was like, guys, who is this? I was like, is this some like indie artist? Now, they go, oh man, that's Big X the Plug. I'm like, who in the actual hell is Big X the Plug? Is that a group? Is that a duo? Like, is one Big X and one's the Plug?
Somebody must have had a terrible sounding like sound system or something, because Big X the Plug sounds like a normal rapper, so I don't know what you were listening to. Oh man,
everything I've seen,
wait, you know him?
Heard of him?
Yeah, I know who he is.
All of
damn,
his stuff
you get with the kids, huh?
Yeah, he gets with kids for sure.
Not in the
I got a lot of nieces and nephews,
but in his like voice structure, it almost sounds like a younger Notorious B.I.G. And I couldn't stand.
Yeah, he does.
I couldn't stand.
I go lie. That sounds like a made-up name. Big X the rapper kind of sounds like an AI name.
I couldn't stand. I couldn't stand Biggie. I didn't like. He choked on his words too much, and
what the fuck?
He was
you
way
didn't
too.
Like Biggie?
No,
would you prefer Tupac?
Yes,
Biggie?
more storytelling, more clearly enunciated. Doesn't sound like he has a dick in his mouth the whole time. Yes, that guy.
I think it's the accent for him, because Big X is from Houston, so I think.
He's got that southern.
Yeah, maybe that's what you're getting at. Because I was like, because I've literally listened. I've listened to a couple of his songs, like probably.
Oh, he has more
songs. Yeah. Yeah, he's like one of the biggest artists like on the planet right now.
Oh my god!
To me, the biggest artist on the planet is still Eminem and 50 Cent. I don't know what we're doing here. Like,
God, nah, 50 Cent is now transitioned to director and full-time petty person. That is his job. Like he beefing with everybody while he producing like TV shows.
Hey, listen, if you get T.I. to come out of the rap hole and release 6 amazing tracks, 50 can do whatever the hell 50 want to do. He brought me T.I. back.
Yeah, I mean, I love 50, but I don't think he can't lyrically.
No, and funny enough, I actually don't like 50's style either that much. It's that down low, slower, methodical thing that he has.
Don't get me wrong. Get Rich or Die Trying is one of the greatest albums of all time.
Fantastic.
But that's where it stopped.
That's where it stopped. And everybody except him knows it, and that's the problem. Yeah. Anyways, this is not a rapper. This is not a mid 2000s rap podcast.
But yeah, just to give you an idea about who that person is, yeah, like he is basically on everybody. Like everybody wants to collab with him right now. Like he's on working with literally everybody. So that's who that person is. But yeah, I'm curious what you listen to, because like I said, at least his top 3. Yeah, what song they had you listening to? Because I don't like all his songs, but I've heard at least 3 to 4 of them, and he sounds normal. But I do think it's because if you already don't like Biggie, he does kind of sound like that, but like the Houston version. So I think that might be why you were just like, oh, it sounds terrible. Yeah, so I get it.
It's that's also why I gravitate more to folks like Joyner Lucas, because he enunciates what he says.
Out some heat too.
Yeah, you did. Kendrick Lamar, I love Lamar's delivery. Just kind of that laid back flow, but it's not so laid back that you can't understand what he's saying.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But so good. Anyways, I love rap, but we're gonna talk about this
after the show.
That stopped for me after about 2010, unless your name was Eminem or you were on one of his tracks, like JID. Love that dude. But I only found out about him because he is the only rapper I think I've ever heard, outside of maybe a couple from Royce on Bad Meets Evil Part 2, that could hang with Eminem lyrically. Like on Eminem's latest album, when him and JID are on the song together, I think it's Fuel. You hear JID's verse first and you're like, damn, that's probably the cleanest feature I've ever heard on an Eminem track. And then you hear M's and you're like, oh no, okay, M still beat him, but barely. Like Eminem had to string together about 30 words to make me go, oh, okay, yeah, you're still the GOAT. But like, anyways, we don't skipping over.
No.
Listen, there are a few things in life that I am super passionate about. You get me talking about video games, coffee, Magic the Gathering, or hip hop pre-2010. I'm like, I will sit there for hours and we can just discuss it. Like, it's just love. Okay. Speaking of another thing that a lot of people loved, a lot of people didn't. A lot of people told us we were stupid, we were crazy, we were coping, we were ponies, we were this, we were port begging, we were blobbity blobbity blah blah blah. Well, Starfield is finally coming to PS5 next month alongside new content and PS5 Pro support with Pisser Part 2. And also, if you want, you can, try out the DLSS 5 when it comes out, and you can make your rough game look even, weirder. But it's finally coming. I care little about this, but I do cover big stories, and this was a big story. This is something that had been speculated on for, since the game released. Actually, pre-game releasing, because it was worked on by Bethesda originally in hopes that, or with Sony beckoning at their door, hoping to secure it as an exclusive. That didn't happen, obviously, but they still were able to work on it as an exclusive, or as with a PS5 in mind. So everybody kind of had the idea that it was coming, except for your Xbox faithful friends, and they were just delusional for some odd reason. Like, once other games started coming, once the first game crossed over, and Phil came out and said, no, it's only 4. It's only 4. It's only 4. I promise it's only 4. Yeah, he didn't say that, but he said, it's only 4 games. We have nothing in the works beyond that. And a couple months later, he said, when I said that, what I meant to say was, nothing's really off the table. Because before that, Tim Stewart come out and said, hey, we're going to keep exploring this because those couple games did amazing on PlayStation, and we want to do that. And then Satya came out and said, hey, those 4 games did amazing on PlayStation, and we're going to keep doing that. And feels like, nothing's off the table, really. I mean, really, it was just 4 games. What do you mean? I mean, nothing's off the table. So, like, it's coming. That's great. I give 2 shits about this. Enate, I'm going to start with you, back at the top of the order. What do you think about this? Is this even newsworthy past a 5-minute blurb of, hey, what do you think?
That's Tuesday.
It's just
I
Tuesday.
mean, yeah, I mean, I still think it's going to be a pretty significant release. Bethesda was right. You know, Pete Hines was right. You know, and they let him go for it. But he was right. Bethesda has a lot of fans on PlayStation,
Yep.
and a lot of people forget Skyrim sold the most for a long time on PlayStation when it originally released. Like it sold gangbusters.
I would
So
argue
they had a
it
ton
only
of,
started to sell better on PC or started to bridge that gap because the PC mods were there.
well,
And
yeah, like later, more
yeah,
and more people pick it up and stuff. But like day one, max price, like PlayStation was top of the heap for a very long time. And like I said, Bethesda has also obviously a huge PC presence, but PlayStation fans were just buying it in droves when 2011, 11, 11, 11, when it dropped, it went crazy. So Bethesda fans are definitely on PlayStation, man. There's a lot of them, so I think this is going to be pretty significant for a lot of people. Um, you're getting the much better version of the game, and you're getting it for $50. So that's another thing. They thought it was going to be max price, right? Um, but you know, they're giving you everything, the full package, all the quality of life updates. So I think it's a pretty significant deal. If you were like me and you wanted to play it, um, and you didn't have a PC and you wanted to play it on PS5, or now you definitely have a PS5 Pro, you're going to be able to play with PSSR 2.0, the 60 FPS update, the whole nine yards. I think this is a perfect time to jump in and get that experience underneath your belt. Um, for me, originally, it was like a 7.5. I did enjoy my time with it. It just structurally, the game was just kind of they were a little out of their depth. Um, because what Bethesda is very good at is creating a bunch of points of interest on a open world map, and then this became open space, and so the space was too large and it kind of got away from them. So you have pockets of stories like the faction missions, which are really really good and really entertaining and a lot of fun. And then a lot of the other stuff outside the faction missions is just kind of lackluster. um and the main story is okay. And that's really kind of where they fell off. But I think overall, with the improvements, the free lanes, uh, which is already out, and then the rest of the stuff that's coming on April 7th, I think it's a good shot in the dark, for people who want to go for it. I would say the only thing I would warn people about is just wait for a performance analysis, um, just because between Bethesda and Obsidian, um, their games don't always run as well as they should, despite the tech
oh, you're
being
being a sweetheart with that.
fairly equal. Well, I mean, I'm not talking about like the jank and stuff. Like that's
Oh,
always going to be there. Yeah, I'm talking about actual performance,
oh, okay.
like Obsidian's Outer Worlds Spacer Choice Edition is apparently still just broken
Oh,
on PlayStation. Like just 100% broken. Like it just you get to a certain point, and I think there's like a memory leak or something, and they just never fixed it. Now, like people said, to be fair, they were like Obsidian didn't port it, somebody else did. But I was like, yeah, but it's their game and it's their job to fix it, and you released the sequel. So of course I don't expect the sequel to sell well if the first game is still broken. So that's what I mean when I say like I mean like really performance broken. So that's why I said I would be careful there, just to make sure the performance is going to be great. Um, but yeah, I mean I'm interested. I've watched the update. I've watched them talk about what they've updated. I think they've done a great job. They answered a lot of the things that I had a problem with. I felt like there were way too limited amount of weapons for the size and scope of the game. They've probably added 30 to 50 more weapons, it looks like. Um, Based on what I've seen, more customization, more variations in them. Like there's quite a few things that you could do, and you can really kind of customize and really play the way that you really want to. There was one thing that I don't know, but I was hoping that they would add, but I don't think they did. And again, one of the reasons why I always play Bethesda's type titles on PC. Um, but there's obviously the shipbuilding is a very big thing in the game, and they did make some improvements with that and some of the other things. But one of the big problems in the game that I was really hoping they would address is that, again, I get it's supposed to be like an immersion thing, but when you're building a ship, if you want to stop, like say if you want, like I wanted a certain cockpit, right? And it's only sold at like the military installation. I have to fly over there, go land at the military installation, and then install it. The problem is you'd have to go in a complete ship, or you have to put a temporary cockpit on that ship that you don't want while you fly over there to go get it, then swap it out. So the thing that I did is there was a simple like INI file adjustment that I did that I injected into my game.
Of course you did.
And it made all parts available in the home station where you land for the first time. And so I could access everything, and you'll see it all over the videos. All the people who build these really cool ships. How did you build all that there? How did you build it there? And I found out all the people that are building these really cool ships, they all have this injector that lets all the parts be accessed in one shipyard so that they can build any ship that they want. So yeah, that was a big miss for them. I was also hoping another thing that they would do is create shareable ships. So if I build a really cool ship and it took me a long time to build it, because the ship that I flew for a while that I showed off, most people didn't build ships nearly as elaborate as that. My ship literally hit the maximum parts, and that ship was unbelievable. It would obliterate anything in Starfleet's. I'm telling you, like their whole catalog would get blown away by that ship when I was done. But it took me hours on end to build that ship, so it would have been cool to have like a share code, share that to somebody who has the appropriate level, and they'll be able to just import my ship into their game. But the reason they didn't do that is because of Bethesda in their creation area, where they started selling ships that people built instead. So yeah, I feel like that was a really big missed opportunity, because a lot of people, because of that, didn't really build or mess with the shipbuilding as much as they thought they would. But yeah, otherwise, I think, like I said, I think it's still a good game within the limitations of what they built. I think the quality of life improvements are solid. Hopefully they do a little bit more after they get some feedback, from this. And then, like I said, you get it all in one package for $50, so that's not bad. So yeah, I think it'll be a solid get for anybody who was waiting on it. But yeah, like I said, for me, as a huge Bethesda fan, like I said, fair caution, it was a 7.5 for me, and I personally wouldn't play it without the modifications that I applied, which were light, but they were crucial. So, yep.
So, Hero got you. He said, hey, that's actually a good point. Just 2 likes? What are y'all doing? Hey, hit the like button. Thank you, Hero.
I have 9 likes. What are you talking about?
9?
I can see 9 likes.
We're at 11 now. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, I was going to say you might need to refresh. Yeah.
He said, okay. Rachie even said, leave and come back. It will update. Okay. So
it's 12 now. Okay.
He said, I don't like building in games, except when I do. Enate.
No. Wait. Hold on. No, I said I don't like make your own fun. I didn't say I didn't like building.
Yeah, I'm just indirectly misquoting you, but it's fine.
Yeah. Like, no, to be fair, yeah, I don't make your own fun games. I'm not with that. But yeah, I mean, I love base building and stuff like that. I'll build a base and I'll do stuff like that. But yeah, make your own fun is an absolute nope.
It has to be very. I am very picky when it comes to building things. When it comes to doing extra nonsense in video games, it bothers the shit out of me. So yeah. I'm very, very picky. Like when they introduced the Montessori, or not the Montessori, that's a totally different thing. Wherever the hell, in Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, they introduced the villa that you could upgrade and all that. That was awesome. That was great. I thought it was amazing. It was just the right amount of time investment. making the money, going back, opening up shops, upgrading them, getting your new weapons, things like that. And then the payoff that was attached to it was those new weapons. You got different paintings. You got to have a little fun with it. But it never seemed like it took over the game. I love those. Things like, and I know I get hate for this, but things like the farming simulator side of Sakuna of Rice and Ruin, that shit's half of the game. Like, no lie, you're going to spend half your time planting rice, collecting bugs, running the water off, bringing the water in, and cooking for people. And then the other half you're going to spend doing a really awesome side-scrolling game. And so, like, that is too much for me. Dark Cloud, if anybody remembers that game on the PS2.
I remember Dark Cloud.
Dark Cloud was awesome because you went out and you found these pieces and you took them back and you got to build your village. And it was just enough to where you were like, okay, cool. I put this here, put this here, put this person over here. Cool. And I'm done. And I get to go back and do other things. And that type of stuff is great. But when you start like, Hogwarts Legacy had something in it that I didn't touch past the story mission for it. And it was when you could go collect pets. And like you could breed them. You could have a whole freaking farm. You could do anything you wanted to that interior room that you had. That was the most utterly annoying bullshit I had ever been a part of, ever. You wanted me to not only go out and catch the animals, but then bring them back, drop them off, make them play nice, have babies, feed them, water. Hell no. Absolutely not. I was trying to go kill like wizards. Like I wasn't trying to build Animal Farm here. Like it's just so that type of stuff in games really, really does kind of irk me. Anyways, that was a side note. Who's next? HeroDownUnder, you are next. If you would like to hop into this.
Well, like I said, the day Starfield was announced for PlayStation 5 was the most devastating day for Xbox. But for me, it was just Tuesday. The thing is, it's not a big deal, right? I was interested in Starfield since it was initially announced. And thank God it didn't happen. But this was the one game I nearly bought an Xbox for. But when the reviews came out and when I discovered about the loading screens beyond anything else, I was like, this isn't the PS2 era. I'm not going back to that. Not interested. But I will buy Starfield. Even though it's cheaper than full price, I will buy it when it's 50% off. Reason why I'm buying Starfield is Logic said it had some Star Trek elements in it, and there were parts that you could take to actually build on that Star Trek storyline, and I want that, so definitely I am going to buy it. But I have the only game from Xbox I'm going to pay full price for is South of Midnight, for reasons. In any case, it's not a big deal. It's not. It's a nothing bugger because if you've had Halo, Gears, and Forza, the Trinity, nothing else should surprise you. The fact that people on the X side are losing their minds and lying to themselves that no other games are coming, that exclusives are coming back. Once you get a girl pregnant, you can't remove the pregnancy legally in most states and in most countries of the world. And basically, technically speaking, both Xbox and PlayStation have impregnated each other, and there's no going back.
Whoa!
The good thing for
this is a family. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
The good thing for PlayStation is they put the tip in, but didn't actually fill it up. For Xbox, they went full force into PC.
Rachel, you got me spit my drink.
Full thumping into PlayStation, and they can't stop it anymore. They make more money now from PlayStation than they do from their own console and from PC. It's over. So I really don't get why people are like losing their mind and getting angry and making idiots out of themselves, saying stupid things online. The console war isn't particularly dead. It's just shifted. It shifted to Nintendo and PlayStation, and Xbox is a very premium supplier. Well, no, not premium. They are a consistent supplier, and hopefully they become premium, and that's where they are right now. So It's no biggie. Sorry for all the
Listen.
sexual references.
You're talking about Nintendo. If Nintendo keeps releasing the old Pokemon games for $20 a pop, they will consistently get money from me. No questions asked. Just
I bought it.
I did too. I got Leaf Green.
Everybody's buying it.
I got Fire Red.
Did you really?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, we can. Okay, so when I catch Abra,
Can we trade? I thought it was closed off.
No. You can trade online with people. You can trade.
Really?
Like, you can trade online because you have to. If not, they would have to unlock a way for me to make Kadabra turn into Alakazam. Because that only happens through trading.
The pet, what's it called? The Pokemon Hospital or Pokemon?
The
whatever, and the Pokemon Center.
Yeah.
And I go upstairs, but all that shut down.
Somebody told me you could still trade with friends.
Oh, yeah, it said it's not available right now, and I've been playing it. Like, I didn't watch, but I had it play in the background. Jack Ryan, I did like 2.5 seasons in the last couple of days just because that's what I do. I put it up while I play Pokemon, and yeah, it's closed. I don't know. I mean, you can go up there, but when you click on it, it says like this, not available or something like that.
Oh, no. Okay, so here's what AI just told me. You're welcome, by the way. This is Gemini, though, so it's better. It says, yes, you can trade and transfer Pokemon from the 2026 Nintendo Switch eShop release of Pokemon Leaf Green and Fire Red. These versions feature local wireless trading and confirmed one-way compatibility with Pokemon Home, allowing you to move Pokemon to modern games like Scarlet. Oh, that's pretty neat. So local wireless only, no online trading. Okay, so my buddy and I can still trade, but it's because he's local to me. All right. Anyways, if they want to keep giving me Pokemon games, put yellow on there. They could charge me $40 for yellow. I don't give a damn. That's
more important than that is that the physicals are just so damn expensive. So people were complaining about the $20, but it's like, look, man, that the option is either that or you spend $100, $200, $300. I saw a Game Boy Advance copy of a Japanese version of Pokemon game for $60 at my retro freaking mom and pop shop. No case, no nothing, just a game. You know what I mean? And my son's like, can we get it there? I'm like, not for 60, dude. And we got the Switch version back at home. But literally, and I ended up buying Super Mario for the DS. I forget what it was. But yeah, it's just ridiculously expensive, man.
Yeah. And so it's I'm actually charging up my son's Switch for the first time in like months, because I purchased Leaf Green tonight and it needed an update, but the dang thing was so dead it couldn't do the update. So
no, Pokemon, I really wanted yellow and stuff like that, but Pokemon Leaf Green, Fire Red, Silver, Blue, all that's the reason I even wanted a Game Boy to begin with. That's the only reason. That's the only reason I ever kept the Game Boy, is because of that. So when I saw that, I'm like, I had to jump into it.
Because there was no other game back then that, like, especially on the handheld, that was doing what Pokemon was doing. And that's what made it so damn impressive. Because I don't remember another game from back then. Because for me, it went from the Dot Matrix to the Pokemon Color, right? And then from the Pokemon Color, it went to the Game Boy Advance.
Yeah. And then Game Boy Advance SP.
Okay. And then from there, I lost whatever. I didn't have anything past the Advanced.
I think it was a DS, maybe.
Was that when the DS came out?
I think it was a 2DS, yeah, because that came on like 06, I think it was.
That was the one with the 2 screens, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's when I
just
stopped.
bought one of those. Well, yeah, I got one last week.
But like, they were so engaging. And as somebody like me, who at that time I was really deep into Final Fantasy stuff, it offered me that level of storytelling, the turn-based combat, the level up system, the being restricted to only 4 moves, which you think is okay, but once you hit like level 16 to level 25 with some of these people, you end up like, okay, crap, now I learn Razor Leaf. What the hell do I do now? Which one do I get rid of?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's easy. I'll get rid of Growl. But then you learn Solar Beam, and you're like, well, I now have my Sleep Powder. I now have my Razor Leaf. I've upgraded my main little normal attack. What in the heck do I delete? And so it always gave you these like really interesting choices, making it to where everybody's characters were usually a little different. Like some people I know who played Pokemon did like buffs and debuffs and all of that. And they went heavy into that. Like they would just drop a Pokemon's defense and then bring in another one to just solar flare it out of the existence. Not solar flare, that's Dragon Ball Z. To solar beam it out of the existence. And like, so you had all these different strategies, and it was such a wonderful, wonderful time, which is why Nintendo can release it now. And honestly, $20 is a freaking insane price for a Nintendo. Like,
I think people were more mad that they didn't throw it in the Nintendo's online service. I think that's their biggest thing. But you know, like I went into a rant about this. I go into a rant about everything. But I'm like, look, I'm always shitting on Nintendo, right? But not because of what they do, but how they do it. I just don't like their heavy-handedness on everything they fucking do, right? It's just it's too much. But I always defend their right to fucking do it. It's not easy to create a successful IP. It's not easy to, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, milk the fuck out of it. Do what you got to do. We as the customer, we can get it or not. What I don't like is when they fucking want to throw somebody in jail for 30 years for playing, you know, OST on YouTube for free without making any money because Nintendo hasn't given us away for 30 years. You know what I mean? Like, that's the shit that I don't fucking like from them. Yeah, make them fucking take it off the channel. Make, you know, whatever. But fucking go to jail and fine them $1 million. Like, dude, this dude makes $2,500 a month. Like, what are you doing, right? So that's what I don't like. So yeah, no, I'm fine with paying $20. I own it. It's mine. And it's better than the alternative of going out there spending, like I said, $60 for a freaking game that's 30 years old that we don't even know if the battery's been replaced, if, you know, if it's counterfeit. And if you put a counterfeit game in your console, Nintendo can break that shit, right? Brick it. So there's a lot of risk out there than more than just $20 for a game.
Mm-hmm.
Get ready to. I got get ready to head out.
Okay. Yep. It's
because stuff's about to start closing, so I gotta go pick up.
You gotta go get her coffee.
Yeah.
All right, guys. With that, it has been 2 hours. I have another early day tomorrow. God, I don't want to end this, but I need to be a responsible adult and go to sleep.
Yeah, I'll tell you guys something cool real quick if you guys haven't seen it, which Will probably seen it.
Exodus.
But I don't think.
Oh, Exodus. Yeah, we still have one more topic.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Exodus looked amazing.
That right there is my shit.
Listen, Exodus currently.
That new gameplay looked insane.
I will let them have Pearl Abyss, the whole company, if they just give me a review copy.
Hey, guys, I'll be honest.
Is that what you're going to talk about? The new gameplay?
Oh yeah. It's one of the topics tonight. Yes.
Fucking fire ass shit, bro.
I mean, I'll say my piece on it real quick, and then I'll listen to you guys while I drive. But yeah, obviously I posted it the moment it came out. The new gameplay looks amazing and shows kind of the thing that I was talking about, because a lot of people kept asking me what was my holdup on pre-ordering Crimson Desert, and I kept telling people they keep hiding the systems.
Yeah,
like I was like, there's 5 hours of footage, and yet I still don't know how I unlock skills. I don't know anything about the characters. I don't know like where is all this back end stuff. I was like, I keep seeing Bob and them running into an enemy base and suplexing somebody, or this dude fighting bugs on a hill, or you know, occasionally somebody shooting randomly from a mech and going crazy, or him jumping off of, you know, the top of the planet. And I'm like, all that stuff looks really cool, but where are the systems? Right away, Exodus, this new gameplay, bam, the systems are right in my face. I see him executing, running up Mass Effect style, commanding the guy in the mech suit to set off the the explosive. He shoots it out. Boom, you run in, you got cover fire. Bro, I'm telling you, it's going off like a modern day Mass Effect if I ever seen it. Oh my God, I want it all. It
With
looks
the grappling hook.
amazing. Yeah,
And
like,
to go
bro,
above that is these dudes haven't been secretive about anything.
Not a
They
damn
hold the
thing.
weekly podcast, or I don't know if it's a podcast, but it's like a talk, right? Like a developer talk. Every week, 10, 15 minutes, sometimes 20 minutes, every single week. They send newsletters. They let you know what they're working on. You know, normally I get mad when they announce games that are like years away, right? Even though this one should probably within a year will be out, but I normally get mad. It's like, dude, okay, announce it a year, start the marketing 6 months later, and then release it after that. But with them, because they've been so upfront about everything, I don't mind it. And my anticipation is amping up. What's the other one? The Samurai game that's supposed to come out, Phantom Blade. Like, I'm so over that game, not because it doesn't look cool, because I'm so excited to play it. But it's like, you guys have been talking about this fucking game for 3 years, and you still haven't released it. Like, what are you doing? With them, it's just different because they've been walking us every step of the way. And I think that is if you're going to talk about your game super early on, that is a great way of doing it, where you're not giving away the whole caboodle, but you're still giving us enough to learn about it, get excited for, and interact with them. And I just think it's super cool. The gameplay, obviously, and the way it looks is the best part about it, but just all those little things that they do.
Really, they deep dive with the lore and talked about all the different creatures across all the different planets and the reasons they're at war and all these other things. And that was again another thing that I said was missing from we had, like I said, we had 10,000 hours of gameplay of Crimson Desert, and I don't even know who the hell the enemy is. Like who's the enemy? Who's the main person? Who's the gods of the world? I have nothing. I have no lore. I have no story. I have no like where is it? Like where, and like I said, besides just the systems we're missing, I know more about that game. And one more shout out to another upcoming game that's coming sooner. If you guys are interested in Exodus, the upcoming Expanse RPG also looks really good.
Is that a turn-based
Expanse book, by the way?
No, it's not.
No,
it's not
turn-based.
turn-based.
Action.
Okay.
Yeah, it's action.
Yep.
So yeah. But yeah, and if you haven't listened to the audiobooks, you should, because they're amazing. But yeah, Morgan is listening to those now so she can catch up, because she felt jealous when me and Weeb were nerding out.
I ordered the second book as well.
Yeah.
Have you guys watched the TV show?
Huh?
TV show.
He's talking about so Hero is talking about ordering the books for Exodus, but you are talking about
The Expanse.
Oh,
yes,
bad.
I have seen the TV
Oh yeah,
show,
and I was also
I'm
talking
on
about
book 7.
yeah. That's funny.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
But
No.
yeah, I'm on book 7 for that. But yeah, the Expanse TV show, if you don't want to get into the books, but you want to understand what you're getting into, because it's only going past like the first or second book is where the game is going to be. Just if you're interested in the lore and kind of the build up, there's a lot going on between the Martians, people born on Earth, and the Belters, and a lot of it gets explained. And like, there's so much going on, so much political turmoil. And the Belters have their own way of speaking, which is again something that, again, once you know, they have kind of like a patois, or known as like the way people speak in like like a Creole in like Louisiana and stuff like that. So they kind of have their own sayings and stuff, and you get to hear those and understand them, and kind of those people struggle, and it kind of gives you even more background into the game. That, again, like I said, two double sci-fi RPGs, bro. I am not mad. I will take both of them, and they both look really good. But I wanted to shout that one out because it is coming out a lot sooner. That one is coming out this year, so just to give people, so you can get that this year, and then we can look forward to Exodus. But I'm finally happy that someone is picking up the potential Mass Effect like mantle, because not enough people. No, we have not gotten enough sci-fi oriented titles at all. Bro.
So little. Like right now, we're going through another wave of like medieval.
We are.
You come out, or we have a couple come out this year already, and we got a couple more coming out. But this like fantasy, or sci-fi, it's just, that's why I think I like Cyberpunk so damn much. It's just
that is actually good for me too. because it was like the only thing we got that was like that in years.
Which is, you figure it'd be such an easy thing. Like, for example, with Marathon, I know this is a controversy. I don't understand. But the thing that I really fuck with Marathon is the outside the art style is how they explain shit. So you are a shell which has your conscience in it. So every time you die, they have to reprint you a new shell and transfer your conscience into that shell. So that simple mechanic right there explains the reason of why you die and coming back alive. Dying, coming back alive. It's so silly. Really cool. Was that?
No, I just said that's really cool. I like that. I like that.
So that simple little mechanic right there, even though I love saying the phrase, it's just a video game, dude. Because some people, they try to go in too deep into, well, this doesn't work out because logically, like, okay, I get it, right? Like, it takes away from how deep you can get into it. But when a game does it and it's super simple but so effective, it just adds more layers to the game, and I appreciate that so very much.
So when it comes to like mechanics like that just explain stuff away, my son, he's 12, he's trying to figure out the world, and he's watching shows, and live action shows screw with him. But when it's a cartoon, he's like, oh, that makes sense. You can stretch your head, you can stretch your bottom lip all the way over your head in a freaking cartoon. Yeah. So when he sees outlandish stuff happen or stuff that doesn't make sense, he's really quick to point out. He goes, Dad, that can't happen. Why are how'd they make that happen? I said, son, 2 reasons. 1, really good special effects. 2, it's how they wrote it. They needed that to happen that way because they're telling a story. This isn't real life. They're telling a story. Just like in video games, I don't necessarily expect everything to be 1-for-1 realistic. That's annoying. That's boring. I live in that world. Like, I don't like. It's part of why I think I have a huge issue, and this is kind of a dovetail, but it's why I have a huge issue with the way the DLS 5 is making things look, because I don't necessarily want full-on ultra realism in a game. There's been a saying going around the Discord that you think you want it until you get it. And that is, that's been in relation to remakes and remasters, because Chrono Trigger Remake, we were talking about it a couple weeks ago, and I think Josh and Quiet Doom were having this other conversation like, yeah, you think you want it until it actually comes. And then you're going to nitpick what they changed. You're going to nitpick the thing. You're going to just rip apart the whole game because it's not what you remember exactly. So you think you want it, but you actually don't. And I think that's what happened with the DLSS 5 is, for a long time, folks were like, man, ultra realistic graphics, they look so good. They look this. And they said, cool, we can make AI do that. Boom. And we all see it and we're like, ew, that's gross. Don't do that. Stop. Like, just make it stop, please.
I think it's one of those situations where, especially this console generation, where gamers just felt so jaded by performance in video games that almost anything that can make it a little bit better, they're rooting for it. And I think that I don't know. I'm just brainstorming here, throwing, shooting the shit. I could be way off and all this. We're just talking, but I really think that sometimes these studios, they have so many different problems to deal with. So if one thing can get taken off their plate, then they'll go with it. No matter that they're getting the most money they've ever gotten for funding, no matter that they have the most people ever to develop the game. It's just, to you, this is one problem. To a problem that somebody else have may seem like a simple solution. And I think it's one of those situations. Plus, they always gotta sell us on something. We've gotten to a point that graphics aren't being pushed like how we used to see the jump, right? From PS1 to PS2, PS2 to PS3. So I think all that kind of gets cultivated into one thing of why this DLSS 5 is the way that it is. And look, it's not just DLSS 5. We have freaking the PSSR 2.0 and, all the other
So,
shit that everybody else is working on. It's just going to be very interesting to see if it does attach and how they can apply it practically.
And that's
let me say something.
Yeah, go
Let
ahead.
me say something. Graphic design, just talking about graphic design, not even talking about high-end video game, but graphic design has gotten worse since Canva. I studied painting in university, and when I was trying to get a job and I couldn't make enough money from selling art, I pivoted into learning Photoshop and CorelDRAW at the time before I jumped into Adobe and other deeper tools like InDesign and the stuff. But the output was very, very good. But what I realized, and I'm realizing more now with myself and with games and movies games we play and movies that we watch, what we gain is not worth what we lose.
Agreed.
So DLSS as an example, it's gotten to the point that they've gone too far. It's that saying of not thinking about if we could, but not thinking if we should. Art style is always more important than reality. We all play games and we even watch movies. It's actually the actress and we buy art. Those three things, not because we want to replicate our current experiences, but we want a semblance of something similar, a semblance of something that already exists, but different. The problem with technology being used so widely and trying to remove, like Will said, something I have to think about less. Let's remove something that is a bit of high effort. Let's make it low effort. That is good in the short term, but in the long term, what we find is we get to a point of emptiness where everything seems the same. I'll bring Nintendo into this. We crap on Nintendo generally. Most gamers, most high-end gamers, crap on Nintendo for their graphics. But the funny thing is, they never let the child die. The graphics and the art style that they use, overcharging for it, but at some point in time in the near future, low poly graphics with good art style will be far more important than high graphics. We all love, when I say we, I mean a lot of people love Naughty Dog. We can recognize a Naughty Dog game usually when it's reviewed, like, that looks like Naughty Dog graphics. It's not really about the realism, it's about the way it's designed. Horizon Forbidden West is one of the most realistic but stylistic games I've ever seen and played. No one complains about that, and we know that they used AI tools, definitely. But when you now make everything so automatic, you kill the soul. And when it comes to art, and even when it comes to technology, why a lot of us are bored with hardware. I mean, computers, we're bored with them, phones, we're bored with them, maybe cameras are also bored with them, TV, everything is becoming so standardized. Once you standardize everything and everything goes through a design system, it gets to a point that you wonder, what's it all for? Was it all worth it? I think we've gone a bit too far, and the artistic intent is being lost because we're relying on technology to make things come faster. Will always talks about when we were younger, back in the 90s and early 2000s, very early 2000s, our games costed a lot less. I don't want to talk about the 80s, but 90s and early 2000s, games cost a lot less to make. They took 2 to 3 years to make, and they made buku money. Right now, we're all waiting 5, 6 years for a new game to come out, and we're dissatisfied when it comes out because what we've imagined in our minds is much more than what we've seen. Recently, I was playing the last year's Tomb Raider trilogy remakes that came out, volume 1 to 3. And when I use a toggle to switch back to the initial graphic, the way the triangle polygons, when I saw the way it looked, and I switched back and like, but I remembered it looking so realistic when I was younger. But this lets me know that my mind was filling the gap. What we need is not for technology. I didn't want to say AI specifically, but technology as a whole, to remove the function of our mind, our imagination. We need to be able to remember things better. And you talked about remakes. Once you bring something back, if you've ever played it before, the gameplay might have improved, you might appreciate that. But once it doesn't adhere to what you remember and the way you remember it, it's like a part of your childhood, or maybe more your early adult, whatever, a part of your life that was important to you. It's like something has been stolen away from you, which is why, as much as I like remakes, I don't always want remakes. If they come, I will actually buy them, so I'm part of the problem. But I don't always want remakes. David always says that he never wants them to remake Metal Gear Solid 1 and 2 because they were perfection in his mind when he was young. He doesn't want them to destroy them. Metal Gear Solid 3 was great, but it was already entering the high graphics period when that game came out. So all I'm trying to say is let's reduce and let's fight as gamers with our voices, and if we can with our wallets. That's even more difficult against what we do not want, so that we actually have a place in our mind that we can actually not lose all of our skills. We need to be able to use our imagination to fill in some gaps, and we shouldn't allow technology to do every single thing for us.
Yeah.
It's going to get to a point where you all don't enjoy what you used to enjoy anymore because it seems bland. It seems like cornflakes without any sugar or milk.
Well, and that's what opens the door for, one indie game out of 10,000 to be able to come out and spark a franchise, right? That's what those type of moments and those type of, gaming scenarios that you're talking about where the norm just doesn't seem to be hitting like it used to. It doesn't give the same vibe. It feels sterile. Like, I remember a couple years ago, or maybe it was last year, UE5, everybody started making the joke that every game coming out in UE5 looks so freaking similar. It's insane. And it was so strange because you were like, oh, that's a UE, that's Unreal. That's Unreal. And they all looked kind of samey. And they were different settings and stuff like that, but they still looked samey. And so you go into a game like Coffee Talk that's totally not the norm. And you're like, damn, this is great. This is awesome. It's refreshing. It's different. You play a game like, and now I get it. Now that I'm actually playing it, I get it. You play a game like Space Marines 2 and you're like, you know what? This frame rate drops bad. I am not going to, whatever update they said they did, I can't imagine playing this game at launch because it's still pretty damn laggy in certain spots. To be fair, they are sending hundreds of Tyranids at you at once. So there's understandably so, there's a lot of shit going on the screen, but there are still frame rate dips. And it doesn't matter because I am going through that game and I am making sure I turn every freaking person red, go up to them, and I don't even know if it's doing anything different, but I'm pressing the execute R3 button while like changing like the direction I'm pressing, like I'm trying to do a freaking wrestling move on these characters. I don't know if it actually picks a different execution, but I'd like to think it does, and it's super fun. And so like Wara just posted, let me read this, because he just posted in the Discord, and I really enjoyed what he said. Let's see. Okay, he said, people complained about Elden Ring's performance, though. This was in response to something Hero said, that Crimson Desert might end up being the most patched single-player game in a long time. And then Wara responded to that, saying, people complained about Elden Ring's performance, though, but having the game be good is more important. Both are important, in parentheses, he says, than just good performance, in my opinion. So basically, he's saying that, hey, listen, gameplay, as long as you have good gameplay, as long as the game is good, people can overlook shimmery steps.
Shouldn't be a compromise. That's a wrong way of thinking. That's a terrible way of thinking. And I get it. He's being realistic, right?
I mean, here's the deal. Did you buy Crimson Desert?
Yeah, no, I did buy it. But I'm just saying that is a terrible way of thinking. We cannot sit here and try to justify one or the other. And no, actually, I didn't buy it. I canceled my order, and I got it from my buddy Ricky, which I got to take it back to him tomorrow. But it's like, okay, do I rather drown to death or to death? It's like, well,
no. But listen, all the time we sit there and talk about, all the time we talk about how a game can have a really dumb, bad, awful story, but because the combat is so freaking good, it doesn't matter. There's always an
that's
aspect
an opinion and taste. When we're talking about performance,
that's fair. That is a fair point.
It's like, you want your mashed potatoes to be delicious, but your steak to be undercooked? No, I just rather have the steak and the mashed potatoes cooked, and then let me decide if I like the flavors or not. And I think that should be the discussion, not, well, I'd rather take shitty performance over, that just, it doesn't make any sense. They should be putting these games out. Like I said, Ubisoft, people say they have shitty games. I don't think they have shitty games. I think they may not be as good as other games in the same type of game.
They have milquetoast
but
games. They're games.
But nobody can say that the games come out broken, incomplete, shitty frame rate. Like, nobody can really say that, because their games come out professionally done.
But they also haven't tried anything new in a decade.
So you're saying you'd rather play new shit but broken?
No, I'm not buying Crimson Desert. No, but and
Crimson Desert isn't broken. It's just, it's got the shimmering thing going on. That's about it. But,
it's got the shimmering thing going on, right now, like that. And I am not saying that a game that comes out that's unplayable is acceptable. I'm not even going to sit there and say that a game that came out like Lost Soul Aside should be acceptable. That game had some of the most fun combat I have ever had in a video game. It was great. I loved it. It was perfect. It was action-packed. It was elemental-based. It was awesome. I loved the shit. It was so good. Everything else about that game was absolute hot garbage. Everything. Frame rate. It had the shimmer. Whenever you walked upstairs, you didn't know where one stair ended and the other one began because it was all artifacted. It looked terrible. Whenever you walked into a new area, it glitched on you because of the autosave. It kept making it glitch. Then, whenever you were fighting a boss in a certain spot, if you had a ceiling over you, the game would sometimes crash because it apparently couldn't process the fucking person or the enemy in that same space because of a ceiling. I don't really know, but it would freaking in the same spot. You went down into this little cove and you had to fight this horde of enemies, and the game would crash. It crashed on me twice in that same exact spot. I don't understand why, but like, the game had such a good combat system and I paid $50. I paid full price for it. So I played it and I beat it, and it's time I'll never get back. But then
But the memories will stay with you.
Right. But listen, God, I have never not recommended a game so hard as I do with that one. Just leave it alone. But I can see how people can make a case for it and go, listen, man, I don't give a shit about anything else you just mentioned. The combat was freaking solid. And I would look at them and go, yeah, listen, man, if that works for you, then awesome. And I think that's what we get with games like Elden Ring or with games like this. Hell, Elden Ring, you couldn't walk through an open chapel door without your screen tearing. At the very beginning of the game, the little open chapel where your first little save spot is, you cannot walk through that broken archway without the game glitching. It just does.
And also, I want to remind the guys that I'm the guy that's been saying, just give me 40 frames per second. Like, I'm good with that. Like, there's so many people that are so bougie now that are like, oh, if it ain't 60, I ain't fucking playing with it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, my God, you've been playing 30 frames per second for fucking 15 years and you never complain not one time, right? But hey, it's their money, they're whatever. But to sit here and say that, you know, because all it's doing is giving them the fucking excuse. We'll just put the game out and then we'll fix it later. It's Elden Ring. We'll fix it later. It's a Souls game. It doesn't fucking matter. It's FromSoft. We'll fix it later. That's all that's saying. So the next Souls game or the next Horizon game or the next whatever game that had an issue, I'm not saying Horizon had issues or any specific, but any developer that's seeing these reactions of people saying, and you're going to see with Crimson Desert as well, people, you know, hyping it up because they love that medieval swag or they love the combat or whatever the hell. It's just adding more fuel to the fire. So we're never going to come to a situation where developers are going to say, okay, aside from how good the game is, the combat, the story, the character design, does the game run at 60 steady on performance? Does it run at 30, lock 30 performance, or a steady 30? Does it do the things that are basic standard things, right? These are just basic, rudimentary things that the game needs to do in order to play as it should. Yes, okay. Now we can worry about how good is this? How good is that? And what's the name of the guy that created BioShock? He creates games a little bit different. So he creates games based on gameplay mechanics. So he thinks of a mechanic, I think it's mechanics. He thinks of a gameplay mechanic and then he builds around that. He builds a story around that. He builds the character design. Everything goes around that basic mechanic. A lot of developers think of a story first and then they add on the gameplay, then they add on the other one. Developers need to start thinking of, we need to build a game on performance first. Does it handle, because then you're going to have Todd Howard out there saying, well, we did 30 because it was an artistic decision. Well, we're going to have fucking tears because it was an artistic decision. It's like, no, the fuck, that's not an artistic decision. That is a performance fucking decision that you fucked up at. But I think when we say things like that, that's what it's allowing things like that to continue to happen.
Can I push back on that just a little bit? We had a game a year and a half ago that came out that was stable 60, had really good graphics, really good gameplay, was really well done, really beautiful presentation, lovely coloring in the game, and the game got canceled and gone.
What game is that?
It was stable as hell, though. Great gunplay in it. Awesome game. People who played
the character design sucked ass.
But so?
Oh, Concord?
But so? The performance of it was amazing.
Yeah, but once again, you're only taking part of what I said. Just because the performance is good doesn't mean your game is complete. It's just like the High Guard people or that one developer who wrote that letter about how he went out there and everybody he showed the game to, or their studio showed the game to, they're like, yeah, you fucking, you hit it. There's no way this thing can fail, all this shit, right? It's, you could have done everything right. You're still not guaranteed success. There's so many people that work hard that are the best at what they do and they never find success. Doing all the right things doesn't guarantee you success. It just gives you the opportunity to be successful. That's all you're clawing for, is to get a better chance at being successful. So yeah, it's unfortunate. You did all the right things. That still doesn't guarantee you success. But when you have your performance squared away, that's one less thing that could be negative about the game. And if we're talking about what the name's the game we were just saying, Concord. Yeah, the big character design was the quote unquote big flaw that everybody was talking shit about. But when you really look deep into the game, it was more than that. Some of the gameplay mechanics were uneven, and Henry could tell you a lot more because he like that shit. I played 2 matches and I was out, not because I thought the game was bad, but because it's a live service game. But it's not that just because you do that one thing, you're guaranteed success. Now, I will say that if your story is banging, your gameplay is banging, you're probably going to have a much better chance of success than if your performance is banging.
That's it.
But that's like showing up to school without a notebook, pen, and paper, your essentials. You're just looking fly as fuck. Like, yep, don't matter. I don't need a backpack. I don't need a notebook. I don't need books because I look good fuck with my Jordans, with my brand new fucking, I don't know, Ralph Lauren shirt. I don't know what kids wear nowadays. I'm just making shit up. But in the inside, you're all fucked up. So it's like, okay.
I agree with you in ideology. I disagree with you in practice. What
do you mean? PlayStation does it all the time. So studios all over the world do it all the time. The performance are great.
What I mean by that, and
like look at Naughty Dog. What do we talk shit about Naughty Dog about? Performance? Never.
No.
Never. Yeah, I disagree with the story of The Last of Us too, but I always give them credit for the animations. Sure. To this day, I just say how amazing Ellie under that little water just scratching the surface to stay afloat, like in real life. Like that shit is crazy. Or when she throws the fucking Molotov, like what? The story I just didn't like.
So let me explain what I mean by what I
I'm
said.
sorry. Yeah, I keep cutting.
No,
I
you're
keep
fine.
cutting you off. My bad.
Let me get this thought out. You know I can't stay on track to save my life anyways. So, so basically, the reason why I agree with you in ideology is because, yes, I would love to have every single company out there be to the level of some of the PlayStation studios that I've been spoiled with. 100%. Insomniac, amazing. Naughty Dog, fantastic. Santa Monica, beautiful. Gorilla, a little bit of hero shimmer. But like, for the most part, beautiful. Like, peach fuzz on the face, beautiful. Great. Idealistically, I fully agree. But, practically speaking, we know from data, games like Elden Ring that come out that are a bit rough around the edges performance-wise, not unplayable, mind you, not unplayable, not even to the level of Lost Soul aside, but there are a few visual glitches. There's a few things that happen. There's a few things that are weird when you walk in certain areas, or the camera does something funky, or there's a screen tear. There's a screen tear here or there. That's hard to say. Say that shit 3 times fast. Like, but the game still sells a ton. Heck, Hogwarts Legacy sold over 20 million, and just like Elden Ring, and there were times where you would T-post on your freaking broom while you were flying. Like, stuff happens. I also feel like when we go back to some of the older games, a lot of the quote-unquote cheats that we had for them were glitches, were exposed bugs that, like, hey, if you did the Pokemon, there's an unlimited item glitch in there that you can do on the older ones where you put a certain item in a certain slot, you go do a few certain things, and boom, you get it. In Final Fantasy VII, you could trick the system to get the gold chocobo in 2 hours because of doing a few certain things exactly right or exactly in a certain way. It would cause a glitch in the software, and you would be able to get the gold chocobo by doing these breedings and getting everything exactly perfect. And it involved you like saving, quitting, going back into the chocobo house, saving, quitting, going back in. You had to go over to some island, come back, and like, it was a lot. But it beat having to go to all the races and winning the races and doing all of that. So you could cheat your way to get it. So all that being said, I fully believe that if you ask me, do I want a game that has all of those things? Yes, absolutely, 100%, 1,000 times over. It's why the 2 games on my list this year that have not moved, well, one of them hasn't moved. One of them I'm on the fence about, but one of them is Wolverine. I know that crap is on my list. It's getting played this year by me day one. Like, day one. Like, there's no question about it. Soros, probably going to be day one because I feel like Pragmata is going to be a little too short for my liking. And so I want a game that I can kind of sink my teeth into a little bit. And I don't think Pragmata is going to be that. And I can get it on sale pretty quickly because, well, they do sales quick. And so Soros is going to be $70 for the foreseeable future because PlayStation
games don't go on discount.
They don't really do that. And so I think when I first started this channel, I would have looked at everybody and said performance is king. I am more like Will now in the sense that if you just give me a VRR mode, 1440p, 40 FPS, let's just let it bump at that. It's beautiful. My eye can barely tell the difference. Now, I can still pick up on differences. That's why I think Metal Eden is at 120 FPS on the Pro, because I played it and it feels lightning fast. And like the way they did the camera in that game, if you're not used to playing fast titles, it's fast. Anyways, it's that.
Well, real quick, I don't want to act like I'm expecting perfection, right? Because that's never going to happen. And I'll end it with this. When I see a company like Pearl Abyss, who it really feels like they put the game out sooner than they should have, and the shit that we get has these shimmering issues, I just cannot say, because the gameplay's better, the story's good, all that's good, I can kind of understand why. Now, if this was an indie studio with little to no funds, yeah, of course it's different. But the problem is, it's not that these guys are putting these games out and, oh yeah, there's happen to be some issues. It's that they know that they have these issues, but yet they do it any damn ways because of stockholders. And I guess that's why I can't be as forgiving anymore with that shit, because we all know, we see the reports, we see the fucking fiscal meetings that they have every year, and it's just something that they've done automatically now because we have been willing to accept it.
Okay, Josh, so Josh did bring up the question, and we don't have time to pull this thread, but I'm going to leave everybody with this. It is getting harder and harder to tell what studios and what publishers are indie studios and indie publishers. And a lot of that is because the tools that they are using are making them punch above their weight class.
Yep.
Like, that's the best analogy I could give is a boxing analogy, where a lightweight, or let's say a light heavyweight, starts juicing a little bit, and somebody makes this new protein, synthetic protein or whatnot, that allows them to use it. It's legal, whatever. And they're able now, because they have that tool, to beef up quicker, to beef up better, and to increase their weight, to move from light heavyweight into heavyweight. And they get in there, and a lot of times their games get compared to these other, all-star boxers, or all-star developers, or all-star teams, when in reality, they're an indie studio that happened to be able to make a game that looked amazing, and that's it. And they're still that small studio. They tried something really, really well they tried something in Black Desert. It worked. And they were like, hey, let's take this into more of a single player style, which is a shift. You saw the opposite try to happen when Naughty Dog tried to go from single player style into multiplayer live service title, and they were unable to make that jump. So going from one to the other, I have to think it's a totally different style. Your goals are different. What you're trying to deliver is different. The reason why you want players in your world is different. Yep. And so kudos to them. It's something that Josh talks about a lot. I will give credit when companies try something new, but also I do agree that on some level, we do need to hold developers accountable for the games that they release. Now, they are a publicly traded company on the Korean exchange. You can go find this out on Google. Therefore, they have shareholders that they have to answer to. Sometimes games come out before they should because shareholders are putting so much dang pressure on them that if they don't, they're shuttering the studio. Or there's going to be big, huge backlash. Think Cyberpunk 2077. They had to get that shit out. They had to get that shit out the door. Whatever may happen, whatever may come, they had to get it out the door. And I think that it's one thing that we can look at GTA 6 and actually be a little happy about, is that they do not appear to be rushing it to meet anybody's goal. And they're going to give us that dang game whenever the hell they're ready. And I actually kind of enjoy that, other than it just feeds into my made up narrative that the game is actually fake and it doesn't really look that good and it doesn't actually exist. But that's a whole fake narrative that I've just made up in my brain. Because I expect, listen, after some of the shit we've seen this generation with games being fully funded and then come to find out, oh, they're not actually real. Wait, what? Like, it's always creeped up in the back of my mind that now if a game looks too good to be true, like the graphic style and the environments of GTA 6, I'm expecting the other shoe to drop. Same thing when I see people slow walking in trailers now. I'm like, oh, that hides frame rate skips. That's what they're doing. They're going slow enough to where everything can load in fast enough to where it doesn't cause a frame rate dip. Once you start running, you see the dip, you see this, you see that. And so I have become
and that's how we think now.
Almost cynical in looking at trailers like Exodus. Y'all were all hyped for it, and the first thing I noticed was the frame rate dip when he's going to jump behind the first box that he goes to. The frame rate dips really bad, and then he comes up, and you see a screen tear that happens, and then over when the grenade is actually being thrown, it's all blurry as shit. And so, like,
and you know why? Well, you know why we don't really care about that stuff? Because there's still a year wait. You know what I mean? Now, if we saw that shit a couple months before, then yeah, of course, questions have to be asked. And look, I defended.
007, so
that's something that anybody who's watched my shit can attest to. I defended Crimson Desert about 8 months ago. I was defending them all the time because people were demanding shit, and I'm like, dude, they still have a year left. What do you mean? But a couple months, 4 or 5 months ago, now I'm like, okay, I stopped defending them. And guess what? Last month, I started pointing the finger at them again. Because there's certain things that you can't forgive at certain steps, at certain, processes. But I'm not going to defend a company that's worth 1 million times more than me when we just heard the fucking voice recording for their meeting that they had freaking 3 months ago about how they need to fucking make, 4 billion this quarter instead of 3 billion, even though they only need billion for operating costs just because they want the numbers to look better than last year. Like, I'm just not gonna do that. And I understand Wara's he's saying as far as the the performance, and a good game is a good game, and that is still very true. But you said it yourself, when you see a game, you start looking for the performance problems or what are they hiding, instead of just looking at the game and deciding, does this look like a good game to me? Am I going to enjoy this game? Unfortunately, that's the way of the world now. So if we have that thought in our mind right now, then to say that we also forgive them if they tend to have a few issues here and there because nobody's perfect and the story still slaps and the combat still slaps, it just doesn't seem right to me. It doesn't balance out.
I think it might also come from a little bit of the fact that I've played a lot of the games that I've played over my life have been graphically they've been graphically a little lower than most. Like Final Fantasy VII, like the original, looked cool, was really good for its time, but like there's games that looked better, but the trade-off was you were getting 100-hour experience.
Yeah.
When you get games like, even nowadays, you get games like Sea of Stars, you're trading off a graphically impressive game for a really impressive art style, color palette, and the story. So like, I think we as gamers do have trade-offs, and honestly, it's the difference between what makes a game a 10 versus what makes a game an 8 or what makes a game a 7. And everybody on this panel has played 7s. Everybody on this panel has played 5s. Everybody on this panel has played games that we consider are 2s. Those are the games you put in and you got duped and you rented it and you put the damn thing in and you go, oh, this is ass. I'm taking it right back. Like, we've all done that. The thing is you have to find your own threshold as a gamer. Where is it? For me, my threshold usually comes in when screen tearing persists. That's where it comes in. Screen tearing to me literally breaks every single ounce of immersion I have, because especially if it's repeatable. Like the screen tearing that happened in Elden Ring almost made me just turn it off. I ended up playing 15 hours in it. But like, because if I can make your game broke, or I can make your game break by constantly just doing something, that's for some reason just gets in my crawl. Not every gamer is like that. Not every gamer cares. Not every gamer even knows what the fuck screen tearing is. But like, when it happens for me in a game, it bothers me. And
the thing is, once you know, you can't avoid it.
You can't unsee it.
You can't avoid it. Yeah.
That's the problem. Like, but I also remember playing Nintendo games that had these massive ass holes in them. Like, I remember playing Nintendo games, Zelda. You could get stuck in a bush in Zelda. Like, there were things that happened back then that they couldn't patch out, that they couldn't fix. And so now they do have that ability to do so. Do I think a game should come with a 60 freaking gigabyte patch on day one? No.
Ridiculous.
But like, do I want devs to continue to try out different genres, to try out different things? Do I want them to still come out and do this? And maybe, yeah, the game's a 7 because it's a 6, or hell, it's a 6-7. Haha. Like, do we let... We can hold them to the fire and still buy the game and purchase it and play it. I think when people hear folks give criticisms about a game, they ought to, and I did it to Will earlier. I did. He started giving criticisms to Crimson Desert, and my first response was, well, didn't you give them money? Whether he did or not is regardless of that rebuttal being
and
the
why
wrong...
I didn't. I
Right.
canceled my physical copy and I got it from Ricky, which I got to return it tomorrow.
But regardless of whether you did or not...
But it's irrelevant, yes.
It doesn't matter. Because if you buy it and you enjoy it, and you can still look at it and go, hey, that shit has some problems, but here's the things I liked about it, here's the things I didn't. Like, that's the same as going to a Marvel movie and going in knowing, hey, this movie is probably going to have some really, at least post Endgame, it's going to have some really wonky special effects. It's going to have a few things in the script that make absolutely no sense on how that could happen. And I'm still going to roll with it. Got it. Cool. Like, you just know. Going into a movie, a superhero movie, you kind of know what you're getting. It's the same with video games. A lot of times we kind of know what we're getting now. It's been a long time since I have been fully surprised at a video game. It's been a long time since I've really been like, oh my God, I cannot believe they were able to do that. Or I can't believe they put that spin on this. Or I can't believe that they did this with the audio score. It's been a long time. I think the last game that got close was Expedition's blending of turn-based with the parry mechanic and the parry system. I thought that was really good, and I had never played a game like that before. And like, that was awesome. But even that game, the hair in that game looked really weird, and the microfacial
Terrible.
And the microfacial expressions were odd. Like, when folks were doing their little like lip movements and stuff, it was very, very jarring sometimes.
Except Lune.
Listen, but no, they even screwed up her character. Have you seen, like, when she's floating, she has hobbit feet. Those things are 30 feet long. It's just disproportionate to the rest of her body. It's weird.
Well, there's always going to be stuff that some people, it's not that big of a deal. Like I said, I'm cool with 40 frames per second. I also talked about how people are not like, if it ain't 60, I don't want it. So there's different levels to what people can get away with. I'm just saying as well
patent pending.
That we should, there's just standards, right? Like your car takes oil, takes gas, you need a seatbelt, you need airbags, you need a steering wheel, you need tires, right?
Yeah.
A game should be able to work, stay consistent in frame rates. Yes, if it drops a little bit here and there, that's fine. Shimmer maybe in one spot or another, that's fine. Things are never going to be 100%.
Yep.
That is not the argument. The argument here is these studios, big budgets, coming out with games that have issues that are not just one or two gamers. Is everybody's seeing the same shit. Everybody's seeing the shimmer here. Everybody's seeing the shimmer there. When all they could have had done is probably just delay the game 3 more months, polished it up a bit more, and then it would have fit that standard of it has tires, it has oil, it has gas. Bam. Let's really talk about the story.
What's really going to bake my noodle is if this big patch they're talking about that's coming, like within the day or so. Crimson Desert. There's another big patch incoming.
Oh my God.
They're doing it for PlayStation and PC. And so what's really going to bake my noodle is if this new patch that comes out fixes everything and all they had to do was delay the game by like a week. Like this. That's the part that's always going to get me, is when they're like, hey, it needs this huge ass patch day one. Hey guys, y'all could have delayed that thing just a week. Put the patch out.
And then you get all the people looking into the fucking books, right? Like, oh, well, what a coincidence that their fiscal year ends in, March 31st, or what a coincidence that the vice president bought this $3 million Ferrari. And then that's how you get people talking about all this external shit that has nothing to do with nothing, but people are always going to look for reasons to blame.
I wouldn't say nothing to do with nothing. They are a publicly traded company.
Well, that's true. Very true.
They have deadlines that they have to make. Like
they have to make. Yep.
No,
you're right.
Skull and Bones came out because of Singapore. That's
yep. They had to get that fucking money, or they're gonna have to pay that shit back. It's real simple.
They had to do something.
But yeah, man, it's just I don't know. I just
good shit.
And I think a big reason too that we're very critical about video games is because they just take so long, right? And not just that they take so long to make, but they take so long to play. I mean, Crimson Desert, dude, is a game that is gonna be the one game many gamers out there are just gonna play for the rest of the year, because it's that big, and they only have an hour a week or a couple hours a week to play that thing. And by the time
it's my FIFA replacement, that's what it is. My FIFA replacement.
Yeah, and like I mentioned earlier, yeah, I'm complaining about the shimmering, but that's because I really like the game, and it's, to me, it seems like, and once again, I'm just a nobody, right? And I could be 100% wrong about this, but it just seems like such a simple fix, because we've seen other games have these issues and they patch it and done. I mean, look at Marathon. What Marathon's been going with them for the last couple of weeks. Almost everything the gamers have requested, Bungie has changed. It's gotten to a point now that all the Destiny players who hated Bungie to begin with and hated that they went with Marathon instead of Destiny 3 are now even more pissed, because they're like, we've been asking for shit for fucking a year. You guys didn't even wink at us, and these fucking guys just got this game, and an hour later you literally updated the shit. It blows my mind, right? And some of the shit that they did, they didn't even put a patch out. They didn't even send an update that you had to download to fix it. You just turned the game on and it worked. Like, it's insane. So when I see stuff like that, and then I see shimmering, which is, I don't know, maybe one of the more common issues that we see in games, along with stutters and, frame rate drops, you kind of feel like, okay, maybe a couple weeks would have fixed this, right? Or am I wrong? I don't know. So when you compound all that together, in combination with all the bad experiences you've had, with all the money you spent, because we do have $750, well, now $750 PlayStation 5 Pros. We have headsets that are worth a couple $100. We have controllers that are worth a couple $100. We're paying for this $100 a month internet service. We're paying for this expensive couple $1,000s a month mortgage or rent, right? We're driving this everything's so expensive, and we feel like maybe we're getting gypped in so many aspects of our life. The burgers at McDonald's are now smaller. The burgers at Burger King aren't the same quality. Wendy's fucking is gypping us off with the quality of their shakes or whatever. So when we compound all these things that happen in our life together, video games is the one thing that we feel like we can kind of control, because they're social with us on social media. There's a lot of us that speak with each other. We have, we can kind of bundle each other up, and not bundle, but gather each other up and say, you know what, we're not going to buy this fucking game. And guess what? 100, 200, 300 people may not buy the game, right? So we feel like we have a little bit more control. And I think that's why we are so vocal about video games in specific versus a lot of other things in our life. Shit, how many of us wrote an email to our energy company saying, hey, you guys are too damn expensive? We don't.
I did. I always do. I do.
Me too. I do every year, dude. They hate me. I email my congresswoman every fucking year about this, because it's fucking bullshit. They play a monopoly on us. But anyways, we're not normal here. Most people.
Yeah, I'm about to say, that's a totally different conversation, because my ass was at my utility company, and we was breaking down why I have a 20% increase in usage for the past 2 years, and I ain't bought nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Same kids, the same wife, the same everybody.
Same kids, and
eating the same food.
And they were like, well, maybe it's your AC. And I was like, ma'am, no. Just no. Please understand that
you don't even want to know what my energy bill is. You would flip a top.
No, I'm lucky because I have my internet, water, wastewater, internet, water, sewage, trash pickup, electric, all on the same bill. It's all by the same company. And then my gas is off separate. And I think I pay like $3 to $3.80 a month, depending. And that's for all of that. And the internet is 1 gig. So it's a decent internet.
Dude, I just got Spectrum, and my bill went from $100 a month for 1 gig AT&T fiber to $50.
Oh, so yeah, I pay $50 a month for mine, and then I rent. I lease the. I guess it is renting, but I rent the equipment from them because if anything goes wrong with it, or they get a new model,
they replace it.
They just replace it. Also,
you gotta pay for the equipment as well. They don't charge me that.
No,
it's just a flat 50.
Yeah, they charge the company I'm with charges $10 for the modem per month, because I pay $65, and then I pay $5 for 2 pods, because I have a pod in the office, so I can link directly in to my PC.
Those things are so nice.
Oh god, it's so good. It's good until one of them goes down, and you try to figure out which one it is, and then you just say F it and unplug the main modem, and then plug that shit back in.
They charged me $5 for that, but I'm still saving the time. But I thought about getting a second one, but the app, I don't know how good it is. Doesn't the app tell you which one's down or what?
I don't use the app. I could download it and use it, but all it does is if you want to manage usage, like basically turn off one of them. So like if my kid had a computer in his room and we had one of these, I could literally turn off Wi-Fi to his room.
Gotcha.
To where he wouldn't be able to use it after dark or whatnot. But like, it's literally, we have 1 pod in the living room and 1 pod in the office, and that's it. And then we have the main modem is right in the living room as well. Anyways, guys, this is not about layouts of the house. It is now 3 hours. Man.
Yeah, we got to go.
We got to go.
I was here for 1 hour, but I was here for 3 hours.
Listen,
4 hours.
Hero, I am so excited this worked out the way it did. It really... Yesterday, there was no way in hell I was doing a show. I was falling asleep on the couch at 7 o'clock at night. Like, it just wasn't happening. Also, speaking of not doing shows, on the 8th of April, I will not be here. I'm not going to be here that entire week. I am going to be on a beach somewhere, It's going to be great. I can't wait. I literally cannot wait. But y'all will be without me that week because I'm just not. Also, not this Saturday, but not this Sunday, but next Sunday, I will be reprising and fulfilling my damn commitment to being on Will's show, the State of Gaming podcast, because I had to get a new headset. Like, it would work, but for some reason, it did not. Like, the microphone was, I don't know what it was. I've checked the system. I've checked my PlayStation. It's fine. Everything was working. I don't know why it wasn't letting me share my voice. I can hear your new one. That's good. I'm glad you can hear the new microphone. That's good. But so now that it's all working again, I am excited to be over there. So we have that coming up. And then I was talking to another person from the channel, and Will, you actually inspired me to kind of get back to my roots a little bit. And I haven't made videos in a while. I got very, very discouraged making them, and it was because I was listening to certain people, and I need to just stop that. So anyways, I'm going back to making review videos. I love my review videos.
Fantastic.
I'm not paid by anybody. Will's not paid by anybody. And to have, well, let me rephrase that. Will is paid by YouTube. He's not paid by anybody who does, like, he's not paid by a developer to review games.
I wish I was. I'll say your game is the greatest of all time. Fucking send me 5 racks. See what the fuck I'll say about that motherfucker.
So, like, it really does make a difference. There's a few people who I like to listen to, and they're generally speaking people who don't get paid for their opinion. And it's because I can trust them more, even if it's a different genre. And so I'm going to be going back to that. I've played quite a few games this year already. I could do first thoughts on several. Hell, I've beaten 3 games now that I could do full-on reviews for. And it's time to bring those back. And Will, you really inspired me tonight when you had talked about these so-called game websites that are getting paid to do this, and how a lot of people are on the payroll. And I'm like, man, that's kind of the reason I started the channel in the first damn place, was because nobody was reviewing the games that had come out a couple years ago. Nobody cared about
Check this out. Paul Tassi just posted today how it's hard for reviewers to give out a full-blown review for Crimson Desert because they only had a couple weeks to play it. And I said, are you fucking high? 2 weeks and you can't beat an 80-hour game or play it for 80 hours? That's 40 hours a week. That's literally your job, my guy. That's what we all work. At least we're all working 40. At least. And you can't even do that?
Give me a reason to play video games 40 hours a week. Give me a reason.
Literally, me and Henry, we have 50 hours of marathon in 2 weeks, and we're playing this sucker after work. Yeah. Like, Henry be hitting me up like, oh, I just got done feeding the family. You ready to hop in? I'm like, hey, I just got done feeding the family too, casually. Let's go hop in. And we play for a couple hours. Then we accrued 50 hours in 2 weeks. This is after work, after family, after the shebang, right? So you're telling me that's what you do full time? Yeah, fuck off.
Now I'm gonna need some people to take a break from marathon to come over and play some Space Marines too with me. That's all I'm gonna say.
No, just let me know, dude. I love that game.
It's really good. I play games for a few hours. Yeah, that's about the rest of us. Like,
yeah, literally.
Getting a 4-hour gaming session. That's why I actually killed my Edge controller when I beat Cyberpunk, because I literally, once I started, I wasn't gonna stop until the game was done, because I was right at the last mission. I went and finished up a few things, and I had told myself that once I started it, I'm not putting the controller down until I finish it. because the last set of missions is like 4 hours tops. And so it's Act 3, but like Act 2 is 60 hours and Act 3 is like 4 hours. And so I hop in. I had to go finish one of Judy's storylines because I thought I was done, but I wasn't. So we took out the thing. We got them in control of a certain part of the business. And then I went to the elevator. So
Who's your favorite character?
Who's my favorite character?
Yeah. Or one that you like a lot in the game.
So favorite is not fair. It's Pan Am. She's... I
really like Victor.
From the very beginning?
No, just now that I beat the game and I like Victor. Like, he's not my favorite. I really like him as a character, like the Dot, you know what I mean? Like, he helps you out in the beginning. He kind of stays with you the whole time. He checks up on you. I just think he's a cool dude. Of course, Pan Am is a beast. Oh, you know who else I like? The singer. What's her name? You know the singer? She's voiced by Elon Musk, ex-wife.
The singer?
The lady in all gold. You know, the one that has you kill her boyfriend because he's cheating on her. Remember doing that mission in a hotel room?
Okay, so hang on. Oh, wait a second. Was that one of the missions you got at the very beginning?
Yeah. It's
like,
well,
you go
probably within the first 10, 15 hours or so.
Yeah, you go meet her at a hotel though, and that's where she. Yeah. That was okay. I don't
know if she's all gold. She's like all metallic.
Rogue was really cool. I liked Rogue.
Rogue.
Judy, man, there was something about her. I think it was her compassion that she had for people that everybody else thought were worthless. Really kind of spoke a lot to me. So I really like Judy as a character.
My second playthrough was so I could try to bang Judy because I couldn't because I played as Mel V the first time. But when I got to the position to be able to bang her, I didn't.
Position.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, so you don't. They end his storyline, or I just did it early.
Takamara or Takam? Yeah, I think that's his name, right? Takamara, the Japanese dude.
Yeah. I really enjoyed that storyline. That was really fun.
The one that gets you out of the dumpster when
yeah.
Wait, have you played the DLC yet?
No.
Oh my god, dude! You got to play the expansion. What the fuck?
So here's the deal. I'm going up to GameStop here in a little bit, probably once I'm done with Space Marines or soon. And I have to pick up the copy of it because here's the deal. I have a very hard and fast rule that I will never purchase a DLC for a game that I played on a subservice. That's dumb as shit.
Cyberpunk is on PS Plus?
It's on PS Plus. That was my third time.
Oh, wow.
I bought the game twice and ended up beating it on the subsurface.
Dude, I own Cyberpunk on the Switch 2, Series X, PC, PS4, PS5. What am I missing?
That's funny.
Dude, it's my top 3 favorite games of all time. Cyberpunk 2077, dude. And mind you, I was part of the... I didn't play that motherfucker till after they fixed everything, so like a year and a half later or something like that. I fucking loved it, dude. That DLC, dude, you need to play that thing. I mean, Idris Elba in there, like, dude, man, I can't wait for the second one. Like, I am so excited. And it's being made by the same team that came in to fix Cyberpunk. So it's not being made by the original team. It's being made by the team that came in to fix Cyberpunk 2077. So you already know these dudes are situated. They're ready. They got the experience. They know the vibes. Yeah, it's gonna be a banger.
Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised once I got past the first set of missions. They did what CD Projekt Red always does. They took too fucking long to let me control what I was doing. By that, I mean...
did you ever do the side missions with the aliens? Where that one dude...
Let me tell you how I played it. Oh, yeah. Yes, that was funny.
He's like the street preacher.
Because it kept popping up on my map as another like icon to go to. And I kept going back and I was like, this is before I had the layout of the city down a little bit better. And I was like, why am I going back to this alley again? And then I would hear him preaching. I was like, okay, this is why.
Yeah.
All right. So those were really funny. That was a really good character. The
Alana Pierce is in the game. Did you see her?
No. Who does she play?
Yeah, she plays she just plays a random she's a voiced NPC, but you meet her in like the desert where there's all that garbage, kind of by where you find the body in the cooler out there.
Okay.
And she's like, give me back my car. Like, it's her car, the little hatchback. Like, I guess they gave it to you or something. I forget the storyline, but that's all she's like. Hey, give me back my car. This is my car. And yeah, but her face looks just like her.
I will say hang on. Give me a sec. I could have swore. Sorry, I just heard something in my house. I was like, wait a minute. What was that? Okay, so I need to go to bed now. I'm not going to let Will talk anymore. You can... Because every time I say I need to go, he brings up something else, and we're going to keep talking about shit because
that's good. You're right. I got to go to bed, too.
I can't shut up about video games.
Oh, you're good, bro.
Okay. So yeah, if you haven't seen it yet, PlayStation Plus has 3 really good titles. Go check them out. Metal Eden, Persona 5 Royale, and Space Marines 2. Go check those out. I've already downloaded all 3 of them. I am playing Metal Eden and Space Marines 2. Next month, we have Saros at the end of the month, and then Pragmata also at the end of the month. Then in May, there is no other game coming out in May. I don't give a shit what the record books say. May 28th, I believe, or 26th, is Ace Combat 8. That's all that matters. It's all that really matters. I am just padding my time right now until I get to Ace Combat 8. But
Ace Combat 8's related. It's a story. Ace Combat 3 and Ace Combat 5. So it's basically a prequel to 5, but after 3.
Was that the Belkin War?
Yes. Well, the after Belkin War.
3 was when the Belkin War.
Whichever one was with the corporations, where the corporations were all in charge. That's during that time.
Okay, so it was before Erusia. After the Belkin War, it's in there somewhere. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's gonna be so cool. Oh my god. Okay, shut up. Will, where can people find you?
You can find me at Will777JP on YouTube.
Yep. Do you not do X anymore?
Yeah, I'm on there, but I'm on YouTube more.
Okay. Well, if you want to, you can go follow his X. It's in the description below. Also, you can go check out his link on there. He does a Tuesday night stream with Henry. It's a gameplay stream. He then does a podcast on Sunday nights called the State of Gaming Podcast. And then he does videos all the damn time. And so go check out his channel. Really good. He's growing lightning fast. Rocket in a bottle. Bottle in a rocket? Lightning in a bottle. There we go. And he's doing great things over there. With all of that being said, guys, y'all know me. Y'all know where to find me. I am heading out of here. Thank you to the panel members who came on, to the guests, to the friends that I have. They're all one and the same. All those terms for me are interchangeable on this channel at this point. You got Enate, you got HeroDownUnder, and you got Will777JP. Wonderful people, all gamers. Funny enough, all gamers of varying time investments. And so really awesome to hear all of our thoughts and that we can come together. Will says it all the time. It doesn't matter if you are a gamer for 20 minutes a day, 20 minutes a week, you're a gamer. And so that's really cool. Really good to talk with people who love this stuff. And it's great, man. You can hear the excitement in our voice when something just sparks a memory, or when when you can relate with somebody because of a gameplay mechanic, or like getting giddy and excited about some new execution that you just found, where when something jumps at you, you press a button and it freaking catches them and slings them by the damn tail, and you're just like, this is fucking sick. Like, those moments are created by video games, and they're wonderful moments to experience, and they're great to experience together with a community like this. Thank y'all so much. Hit the like button. We are out of here, and we will